ahead and click it. Thank you. And then...
Can I hit this one more time?
Yeah, go ahead. And then open up that YouTube page and make sure it's there and moving.
I see you.
Okay,
Excellent connection, it says.
great. Now I'm just going to go to our page real fast and make sure we're online. Yeah, we're live. Let me come off the Wi-Fi.
So I can close it?
You can close that now, yeah. I just want to, I'll look at it right here.
We need cup holders.
We do need cup holders. Well, I was thinking about getting you a table and
Oh,
put
that'd be
this
sweet.
table here. And when we were on break, I actually tried that setup, but I could not figure out for the life of me how to get this table and this microphone and this laptop to like work from the side. This works all from the front. So because of that, this went back and you're out of luck. I also need this. Also, this chair doesn't rock as much.
Really?
It's like stops. Like see mine.
Oh, good.
See mine back here.
I slouch, man. It's
Oh,
probably
good. So I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Everything looking okay in there in the tech booth? Tech booth online.
Yep.
Okay.
People already on.
We do. Who's on?
We can look. It says one watching.
One watching. I think that's me watching.
There's 13 now.
13 people. There's 13 people here looking at us. All right. Well, I guess we better get started then. If there's 13 people staring right at us right now. All right.
Oh, really? That's how this works.
Yeah, it's live, right? Isn't that okay? Nobody gave me a 3, 2, 1. Russ, we're live.
Hello, Matt.
Hello, welcome everyone back to 4K Kings live show here on the
Yes.
18th of October.
I am Russ.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling good. How are
feeling
you,
good?
Matt?
Well, really well, really well. So welcome everyone to 4K Kings. If you're tuning in live, thank you for joining us at our 4K subscriber screening 4K subscriber stream. That was tough. Do you say that?
I think we all just need to take a minute, calm our nerves. This is a live taping.
That was a hard thing to say, you don't think?
Let's just take some deep breaths. And yes, this is our first live stream in celebration of 4K subscribers. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, that's impossible. Because in order to watch this, you must be subscribed.
Damn, Russ, you're a smooth operator. You did that really well. I like over
I
here
know.
blew it.
I'm a combination of Sade and Big Daddy Kane.
Well, thank you, Russ, for introing that and taking the heat off of me for a second there. But you're right. This is to celebrate our 4,000th subscriber. And
We're at 4,500 now, I believe.
yeah, we've really blown past that that mark. But thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you for coming in and saying hello, supporting us along the way. And we're probably going to be going here for, what do you think, Russ? 3, 4, 5 hours?
Let's see where the wind takes us.
No, I doubt that. But
Is that a saying?
it might
Where
be.
the wind takes us?
If it wasn't, it is now. If it wasn't, it is now. I like it. But the reason I say that is because we have a ton of stuff to cover. I don't think we haven't recorded in like a month. We've had a lot of videos going up, but we haven't actually gotten together in a really long time. And literally every boutique that we all love has pretty much put a whole slate of stuff out.
That's always what happens. We record, then the next day, Scream, Arrow, Criterion, everyone gets together and just, hey, let's drop all the banger announcements.
At the minute we're done. Like
Hey.
you'll be driving home and I'd be like, look, Train
Seriously.
Spotting 4K.
I was just about to say, hey, those guys grew up on Train Spotting, read Irvin Welsh novels. Let's announce it the day after they shoot.
I know. So strap in. We got a lot to cover. Like Russ mentioned, Scream Factory, Arrow, Criterion. We're going to be talking about Steelbooks, James Cameron, as always, for like the 12th time. And so we'll see what we get into. But first, Russ, before we start, I did want to say thank you to a few special viewers who have been blowing up our mailbag recently.
Oh, yeah.
And we have been talking about our viewer mailbag for quite some time. We've been throwing it out there, just giving everybody our email just to see what have you picked up lately, a video, a picture, your collection, a release, whatever it might be. And for a while there were some crickets, but I must say, all of a sudden, we've really had a lot of interesting emails from a lot of our fans out there and a lot of our subscribers that we aren't going to show here right now. But when we start putting these videos up that are here, we're going to be showcasing things from Eric. Oh, God, I just smashed the whole microphone. Live, baby. The first one's Eric, who sent us a really cool email about natural born killers, which
yeah?
I
I have access to our email account. Are you hiding these?
No.
No?
they're available.
Oh, I'm just
4kKingsYT@gmail.com, baby.
I'm a lazy king.
You know it's a good Gmail account when YT is at the end of it.
YG?
YG. So Eric, thank you for that email. If you're on there, or if you're out there watching us right now, we appreciate it. We are going to be sharing your email and your release. Same thing with Dustin and the Mago for sharing their full collections. A couple of really awesome collections that I've been looking at that clearly you have not.
I can't wait to see them.
And then lastly, a good friend of the show, Jordan, who sent in an 11-minute video of his entire collection, or I'm sorry, not his entire collection, but some of his favorite 4Ks that he had gotten in the past maybe month or so.
Nice.
And it was outstanding. Really appreciate just all the time and effort you all have been putting into sending those to us. And especially Jordan, thank you so much for that. We won't be airing your entire 11-minute video, I don't think. We'll give the audience a little bit of a teaser, and then we'll link it so that you guys can all check it out. But I wanted to say thank you to all those folks for sending that stuff in.
Did any of them meet YK Kim?
Not this time.
No.
Is our boy that met YK Kim out there tonight? Let us know. Or
just pretend you're Frank Dukes. We'll accept that as well.
just Frank Dukes. We wish I could get an email from him. But Russ, before we get into the deluge of news,
Ooh,
like that,
I do.
have you heard about Best Buy?
I've heard some things about Best Buy. I have, Matt. Any good news?
No, it's actually it's not good news at all.
No?
No. But what's funny, it made me laugh because it was like as soon as we hit 4K, it's like Best Buy ceases physical media, and then there's like 100 articles about like the death of physical media has begun, or it's like even got another nail in the coffin, like that kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking like, damn.
It's definitely a death in the or a nail in the coffin for Steelbooks.
Yeah.
I'd say that. But what my immediate thought was, it makes so much more sense now why that Disney release is a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, true.
Because Walmart, I learned, is the leading seller of DVDs, and if Best Buy is getting out of the game, Target has been getting out of the game. It would make sense now for Walmart to become the new home of 4K exclusives.
Walmart.
That's right.
But see, they're also reducing their stock as well. Target too.
Yes.
Like every major retailer seems to be lessening, or just apparently removing it all the way. So this 4K stream, Russ, is now an end of physical media party. And we don't know if we'll ever see past 4K at this point.
This live stream is a eulogy.
So thank you, everyone. And let's see. We quick shout out. We got someone in the booth in here really helping us out with the live stream tonight. That's my wife.
You're married?
My wife's in there. She's taking a look at comments. She is operating the switchboards. She's making sure that everything is running to plan here. This is a quite the undertaking for us both.
It really is, Matt. We're going. Never mind. Keep going.
Off the deep end.
I was gonna make it off the cuff, maybe politically incorrect joke, but I'm gonna keep that one to myself.
Isn't it weird that they also like? I mean, I get it too, but like to remove.
It is weird that wives don't stay in the kitchen, Matt. I was thinking the same thing.
I'm feeling
what is your
very
wife
distracted.
doing in our editing room?
Let me take a sip of water.
Do you want to hear some of these comments? Because they're hilarious.
All right, let's get a comment in there really quick. Hit us with it.
Okay, well, lots of hail to the kings.
Thank you.
Congrats 4.5K kings. Excellent show. People in Scotland, people in England.
Oh, wow.
All over the place.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Excitement for train spotting.
Oh, yes. We're getting there. We're going to be covering that for sure. We're going to talk about that.
We're being asked if Carlito is here tonight.
We're going to find out about that. We don't know if he's ever in the area. We might have to give him a call on the phone.
Do
you have his number?
I'm scared of him. If you notice, I leave whenever Carlito shows up. He
do.
makes me nervous.
I have to tolerate him, and then he leaves.
I don't know how you do it.
And then you come back, and I'm like, we talk off camera. But anyhow, well, thank you everyone for commenting and tuning in so far. We cannot see what's being said, unfortunately. We're going to be getting these relayed real time, and hopefully we'll be able to answer some questions in between segments and stuff. Please keep it coming. As we kind of have a couple of moments to break, we'll see if we can take a little bit of Q&A. I know Russ is excited to take a few questions.
I love Q&As.
Get a Q&A. Let's get a Q&A going.
I'm a Q&A guy.
Back to Best Buy, just really quick.
Yes.
No online orders either. I mean, you just got to get rid of all of them.
Oh, yes.
Just chop it all out. Just get rid
well,
of all
I
of it.
mean, that's, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but I'm just
what
saying,
else
come on.
were they going to
I don't
cut
know.
out? They already don't stock shelves in brick and mortar stores, so obviously the announcement was about online ordering.
It was, and I think it's pretty wild, too, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but I think it's pretty wild how extensively this story was covered outside of our immediate community. Like, you imagine all the websites and so forth that we would follow are all mentioning it, but, dude, it was on, like, Good Morning America.
Really?
Like, legit. That Blu-ray Dan from, I'm sure there's some people out there that know who Blu-ray Dan is. He's got an Instagram account, a huge TikTok account. He does a lot of Blue announcements, 4K announcements. Really good dude. He was on there with a couple of other people.
He was on Good Morning America?
Yes, Skyping in.
You know, in this day and age, I can't tell what's just in my bubble versus what everyone is seeing. So, of course, that news was going to hit me. I had no idea it was that.
Well, we follow Blu-ray Dan, so he posted about it, and that's how I found out. But then I saw other big, websites covering it too. So I was like, wow, people really give that much of a shit?
I guess.
It made me surprised. That's cool, right?
Yeah. Everybody's just so happy to see our hobby come to its demise.
They're like, finally, we've been waiting for these assholes to
get
get lost.
Yeah, we're waiting for these losers to get a life.
We've been waiting for vinyl to take its place back on the shelves. Get this shit out of here. No, but I did think that was pretty crazy. But I will say, Russ, I have read a little bit into this, mainly on, there's a really cool website. I'm sure most of you out there have been to it before. It's called Media Play News. And they cover, media, news, all types of different things, movies, and a lot of physical media stuff, sales, a lot of sales charts. If you've checked out any of our physical media, state of physical media videos, we get a lot of those figures from there. It's all really great, like reporting on the industry. But they had a couple of cool articles that I thought were interesting that don't really paint this as a blow to physical media whatsoever.
What are the mental gymnastics they're doing?
Okay, so here's what they had to say. You ready?
Yes.
So they had to say this, that while we are the small physical media community that, go there, and you see a lot of people that are like, well, now no one's going to buy those refrigerators because no one's going in to buy the Steelbooks. Like all the people that we like, you see that. But according to them, that's like such a small minority of anything that's going on at Best Buy that it almost didn't even make sense for them to continue. So they were saying that it's a roughly 4% they have of the disc share, which means it's roughly they gain $80,000 per store on physical media, when that's really like nothing compared to what they want to be selling, can be selling. And they are, which I did not know at all, they're positioning themselves into more of not only a high-tech sort of a store, but also a store that has like partnering with and even owning a health tech, like stuff for like here, I'll read a couple of things that I read on there. So
Please do.
Yeah, so Best Buy not only reimagining themselves as like a high-tech store, but also stuff to do with health tech. So they recently spent $400 million acquiring a remote patient monitoring company. They've got hearing aids, virtual hospital rooms that they're like getting in on, where Geek Squad comes, sets up your heart monitor, and then they monitor it from somewhere else. It's like all this in-home shit, and Geek Squad's doing it.
I know. Imagine having a stroke and Best Buy's Geek Squad shows up.
Seriously. They have a Best Buy Health website. So what basically they're saying is Best Buy is trying to reposition themselves as not even having anything to do with physical media. They want to make more money with something else.
They're getting into that lucrative healthcare game.
It seems like it. It seems like it. I'm sorry, but it does. That's what they're saying. So it's a lot of what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of people that saying, oh, it's another nail in physical media's coffin. I think it's just another sad removal of something that was once great. Like they're not only a company who I almost feel like they didn't like kickstart the DVD, but dude, I went there like every Friday to get new DVDs for like 10 years.
Yeah. They always had good sales. They were the Best Buy.
They were the Best Buy.
They were for stuff like that. But also, I mean, there were plenty of titles, at least
Yeah.
at the one near us, that, if they were cult titles. Actually, no, I take that back. You're right. I'm blinded by.
Dude, Best Buy had a huge.
It,
It was
it did.
CDs.
I'm now
it
thinking
was,
back
was,
on it.
dude,
There were multiple
huge.
aisles at one point.
So many aisles.
Genres. Yes.
You'd walk right up the like the new or like just release section was this whole wall. It was so awesome.
Yeah.
It was so great. But now that's all done with, and it's definitely sad because, like I said, I think it's something that was a staple for me when I first started. But nowadays, I would prefer these exclusive steals to end up on Amazon, so I don't have to like go to the store or can combine shipping in one place because you're buying Steelbooks exclusively from Best Buy, but now maybe some of those exclusives will move over to Amazon.
I'm sure they will. Amazon or Walmart.
Walmart, baby. Like, they're going to get me going back to Walmart to get my Blu-rays and DVDs and Steelbooks.
That's right. Roll back them prices.
Yeah, so not a positive thing for the community in general, but I think we'll be okay. Boutiques are going to thrive still no matter what.
It is. Well, one thing, and I know I'm not saying this as a protest or as if it matters at all, but I probably will never make a purchase at Best Buy ever again.
No, true. I thought the
can't-
same thing.
I can't think of anything else in the past 5-10 years that I have purchased at Best Buy beyond physical media.
I don't know. Well, stay tuned for our State of Physical Media 2024 video, if
It's
we're still here.
a lot of Walmart.
We're going to be talking about
We're going to be wearing
Walmart.
Walmart vests
We're
when we
gonna be
talk about
talking-
the state of physical media next.
Yes. All right, before we move on,
Let's
are there
take-
any are there any questions out
Yeah,
there?
let's take some comments.
Well, Rich Sadler, you might want to repeat this because I don't think they can hear me. Rich Sadler said that they're really lucky to have a few dedicated physical media stores left in the UK, like HMV.
Yeah,
Pop.
Rich, yes. How are you doing? So your comment about there being an FYE in the UK, I'm sorry, HMV. FYE, we have FYE, but honestly, FYE is kind of the counterpart to HMV. They're very similar. But HMV is an awesome store. I've actually been in one before when I had gone to Europe before, and they were awesome. They are really cool stores. I'm glad you guys still have those.
Yeah, Kirk Redgate, he also said that HMV is releasing a lot more exclusives now than ever.
Yeah. How about golden discs? Anyone familiar? Because when that's an Irish store or an Irish online, like I'm assuming like HMV, but when Exorcist came out, remember? And they sold out everywhere. I happened to
Oh,
get mine
yeah,
at
yeah,
Golden
yeah.
Discs. Well,
Did you ever receive that?
remember I said that remember I said I think I'm gonna get my identity stolen from going there? Dude, 3
Did
days
you?
later, my identity was stolen. I'm not even kidding. Wife will attest. But
By Satan.
I will say it has shipped. So it's on
Worth
the way.
it. Worth it.
Kirk, what's up, dude? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. You too, Rich. Appreciate it.
Flex One asked if you guys think Best Buy will hold a big ass sale.
I'm going to tell you right now, I feel like I have a Best Buy sort of like cart like saved. Every time like a Steelbook exclusive one will come out, I would just put it in that cart and be like, one day I'll maybe get all these if there is a sale. I have a feeling, I'm not afraid. I have a feeling if I look right now, they're probably all gone.
I was just about to say, I did. Now, what's for me, this announcement has sort of enticed me to just pick up
Like
more.
random ones.
I told you, I have never to this day seen Young Guns in its
I
entirety.
know. We're going to talk about Young Guns. Love
I know.
Young Guns.
I always just skate by on the Warren G quote as
Yeah.
when I talk to people about it. But because Best Buy made this announcement and they had that Steelbook, I was always intrigued. I just bit the bullet and I blind bought it. And I haven't blind bought anything in a long time.
Gotcha.
Especially a movie like Young Guns. I would assume, hey, maybe down the road I'll get another release, but
Yeah.
I just blind bought it. But a lot of the steel books do go, they sell out quick. When I was on there buying that, there was another, I can't recall right now, but there was one that was released recently that I wanted to pick up and it was already gone.
And I know that I've seen some pictures online of people taking photos of their Best Buy shelves where a lot of stuff is cleared out except for those Disney refrigerators friggin' boxes. There's like a ton of them and everything else below is like gone.
I didn't check if those were available.
No,
I'm
obviously,
sorry.
but to answer your question in a very long, convoluted way, I hope there is a sale. I just feel like there'll probably be close to nothing left by the time they just
Yeah.
put the stuff on sale. I think they're just going to let it all happen. Maybe by the end, because it's starting in 2024, I believe, like on the dot. So probably as soon as we get closer to December, whatever they got left, maybe you'll go 50% off. But by then, it'll be nothing good. They already sold out of the National Lampoon Steelbook. I had that in my cart
yeah.
for a while. That was like the one I was like on the fence with just because of that original art so badass. But
You're a
Yeah.
dick. That's a classic.
I know. I blew it, dude. I blew it. My Rocky 4 is still sitting in that cart. It's still sitting there. So, all right. Any other questions or comments to?
Just in terms of where people buy stuff.
Yeah.
Roger says he goes Amazon all the way.
Amazon all the way, Roger. Okay,
Anything to
okay,
avoid
Roger.
Seeing someone he knows.
Anything to avoid seeing someone you know.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know. I mean, other than Amazon, now that Target is removing, Best Buy completely, Target reducing, Walmart reducing in the U.S., where are people going
Oh,
in person?
Tyler asked for you guys' thoughts on Barnes & Noble as a physical retailer with all the Criterion and Arrow that they have.
That is another. So we got another question from Tyler. Tyler, what's up? Thank you for joining. Thank you for your question. Basically, what's going on with Barnes & Noble? We've mentioned this a couple of times. I don't know what it's like in anyone's area out there, but around here, the two closest Barnes & Nobles keep the Criterions behind the shelf. And when we've called them, they've explicitly said that they only order the most popular ones for the sale when it's coming up. So, July, November, they find out whatever's the hottest ones, maybe the newest ones, they buy those, they stick them behind the shelf, and that's kind of what they're doing. I know the one by us at the mall does Arrow, but I think they've even been more reduced, and they've just kind of kept the Criterions going.
And frankly, keeping it behind the shelf makes me uncomfortable. It reminds me of back in the day having to rent pornography.
You had to point
And
to
it's-
it
yeah.
in shame.
Well,
like
yes.
this.
And when you go to Barnes & Noble, I went there one time, right, just to pick up Raging Bull, and they handed it to me in a brown paper bag.
And they
it
gave you a
just
weird
felt-
look, like a sneer.
Yeah, and I was being judged when I walked. It's just a very skeezy experience.
It's a
now.
family place. Get that out of here. It's a Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, but seriously, there's nowhere. I can't think of one
No.
place now at all to purchase physical media
right,
in person.
A quick aside, let me just ask the audience, is anyone from Connecticut that's online right now?
I'll let you know. They want to know where you guys are from.
We're not going to tell you that. We're not going to tell you where we're from.
We're from North Delaware. What?
I don't want anyone to know where I'm at. I already lost my identity once. Golden discs.
North Delaware. I live outside. Like, I live in Pennsylvania now, but
Yeah, we're in Delaware. If you're not familiar with Delaware, check out a map. If you are familiar or not familiar, it's close to Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey.
we're 20 minutes away from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
If you're for reference.
We're on the East Coast. We are not landlocked. We're against the water. Got a nice beach. Anyone from Connecticut in the audience? No one from Connecticut. Okay, if you're not from
Matt,
Connecticut,
go off about Connecticut.
Connecticut.
What's going on?
So I follow. I forget how I found them on Instagram, but I follow a place called the Archive.
Hold on. Is there anyone out there who's from Connecticut?
Tell me now. The Archive. If you don't know who they are, follow them on Instagram just for something fun to look at. But it's the Archive CT, and the CT stands for
Connecticut.
correct. And it just looks like a really badass physical media store selling, obviously, physical media like Blu-rays, DVDs, and so forth, CDs, vinyl, whatever. But they're always posting their physical media drops, and it'll always be like this awesome picture of like a stack of new Arrow titles. And they're not upcharging. It's like whatever, like $45, like what you would normally pay, no shipping, whatever. But it's such a cool thing to see releases that I only can ever buy online.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere is selling them.
Oh, yeah.
And in abundance. And it's just one place. And they have a lot of really cool posts about all the stuff that they have on sale, things they've got. They have a bin called floaters. For floaters, they're like $5, $10 discs. And basically it's when you pick it up, the disc has been dislodged from the little spindle. So they've discounted it because God knows if it's got a scratch or not, which I think is pretty cool. I never even considered that.
They understand the collector's mentality.
That's what I'm saying. So I wanted to give them a shout out, or anyone from Connecticut that has ever been there, to just tell me, is it that cool in person? Because the pictures they post are awesome. Follow them, the Archive Connecticut.
That's right.
Russ, you ready to talk about physical media, for God's sake?
In a minute. I want to know where specifically in Connecticut you are from. Is it a town? Is it a city? A municipality?
A municipality? Well, Russ, on the eve of physical media's collapse, we're here to talk about James Cameron, because he's coming to save physical media. After Best Buy dealt us that death blow, now here comes James Cameron to say,
That's right. And he's going to dive to the bottom of the ocean to save physical media.
and he's going to live this. He will. So let's see here. let's see what's going on with James Cameron.
Oh, real quick, someone said the archive is Vinegar Syndrome store.
No shit.
They also have a location in Colorado.
We've
No.
just gotten word that the archive is Vinegar Syndrome store.
This just in, newsflash from the comments.
Update.
Vinegar Syndrome store. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Someone said the archive is amazing. They live in Queens and they visit them regularly.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, again, if you guys out there have not heard of them, just at least follow them on Instagram if you have one. Or I don't know if I'm assuming they have a website. I've only ever seen their posts on Instagram, but they look like a really awesome store. Kind of reminds me of like in our area. Remember Rainbow Records? Like that vibe. It's kind of like a house.
Wonderland.
Yeah, it's kind of like a house,
Yeah.
but it's like decorated really well, and they're picking up like all the stuff you would want to buy instead of doing it online. So let's see here. All right, Russ, let's talk about James Cameron and how he's going to solve and save physical media.
He's the king of the world.
He is. He's making 4K moves on a lot of his long-awaited titles. Is everybody out there excited for that? I hope so, because we're about to talk about James and all the titles we've all wanted for so long, which, you know, Russ and I have covered a handful of times now, and every time we cover it, we're like, this year. It's coming this year. Here's a clip of a guy saying, I heard James Cameron over dinner talk to a friend that said maybe it's going to come out, and we said that news.
James Cameron has friends.
Apparently. That guy, James Landau. Is it James Landau? What's his name? Landau?
James Landau.
Yeah, is that who it is? His producer?
Oh, yeah.
John Landau.
Juliet Landau.
John Landau. He put a video out like 6 months ago, or whenever the newest Avatar came out, and he was basically saying, yep, like he was kind of like being sly about how he was saying it, but he was like, if you're waiting for The Abyss, if you're waiting for all these other movies, it's this year, it's happening. Well, I think like a month ago or 2 months ago, James Cameron himself was somewhere at a screening for something, and he literally said, it's all done. Everything's done. I've done the restoration. I've done the thing. It's just a matter of it coming out in a few months. He himself said it this time. Actual news coming from his lips on some of his titles like The Abyss and True Lies and so forth, which I want to cover. But first, something that has actual pictures and actual information, not just from James Cameron's mouth.
And what are the titles? When you say James Cameron, what titles? are
Titanic.
confirmed? Titanic.
Titanic has an actual pre-order page that has
Wow.
photos, has information. Then you've got pre-order pages for The Abyss, True Lies, and Aliens at I believe it's a Canadian retailer, just online, but no pictures, no nothing. I believe there are SKU numbers, but there's no other information. The only title that actually has information is Titanic to start with.
Everyone wants aliens.
Aliens. Yeah, everybody's saying aliens out there.
Everyone's saying aliens.
What about The Abyss? Can I get a pulse on The Abyss? Some The Abyss. Okay.
Well, my thoughts are, what's everyone feel on, are they divided that maybe they want a total complete set of Aliens, Alien 3, at least the first three, in 4K? Has Alien been released on 4K?
The original
covering
Alien,
it.
the original Alien has been released in 4K. I think
has?
it came out prior to us even having this channel. I think it's like a 2018 kind of deal.
Has Aliens never has been?
Aliens has not.
I see.
James Cameron's holding on tight, baby.
I didn't know with Aliens. I knew he was with like True Lies, Abyss, and all that, but I thought Aliens. Wow. Okay.
Yep. So that's what's going on with that so far. And then you've got, but the Titanic is the one that has actual
Leonardo DiCaprio.
does have Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, but it actually has like a pre-order page on Amazon for a regular and a like a deluxe edition. So let's see here, Russ. Let's get into some details on the Titanic. Is anyone excited for the Titanic? People are like, we want to talk about aliens.
They only care about aliens.
Like forget.
True lies.
Yeah, forget Titanic. All right, well, let's just give Titanic a wink for Christ's sake. Somebody out there is going to want Titanic at some point in time.
Please, somebody in Connecticut, talk about Titanic.
A little film called Titanic released on DVD Blu-ray. Who remembers the double VHS from Blockbuster?
That's a staple of
Also-
millions of childhoods out there.
Also, rest in peace to Blockbuster. But this was actually released in 4K in the theater already in 3D. I did happen to go see it. I had never seen it before, and I will say for everyone out there that just wants to hear about aliens, it was breathtaking.
Aliens was breathtaking, or
Titanic in 4K in the theater. The re-release of it, and I watched it in 3D. It legit made you feel like you were drowning on the boat. when the water was rushing in, I was terrified. It really looked good. No shit. Like, it really looks awesome. So for any Titanic fans, or if you've got like a wife out there or like a mom you want to gift this gift set to, she's going to be impressed.
It's not a bad movie. I mean, come on. It's nothing. I've always felt this movie is overrated and underrated at the same time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
I just feel like it gets too much shit for being sappy and all that when it was clearly intended to be. But then on the flip side, I do think, for me, James Cameron started to jump the shark with True Lies, and Titanic was just the final draw.
Technical achievement?
Well, of course, but Cameron's always going to give us technical achievements. That's what he's more preoccupied with than anything else, I feel like. For him, it's the technical achievements first, then find the story that will match the technical achievements, which is exactly what he did with Titanic, and then the only other movies he's made since Avatar, same story. You know?
Well, no one wants to hear about the Titanic.
Oh.
So, stop it. Just kidding. I
want to apologize to the state of Connecticut.
The only reason why I wanted to even linger on Titanic for a second, and I know it's because there's a lot of stuff that is coming with Titanic, including like 15 hours, documentaries, like all the stuff that anyone ever wants to know about the Titanic. The only reason I'm even saying that is maybe there's a chance that because James Cameron himself is involved in all these features, he's back to talk about all of it. Will he do the same for some of these other ones that we're all dying to get? Or will those just get like slapped together and Titanic is where he's going to basically spend all his time? What are your thoughts?
Well, I was also thinking maybe there's a chance that we'll finally get the Celine Dion music video in 4K.
She has not been confirmed to be part of the 15 hours of bonus content.
With James Cameron commentary.
If you're looking at this gift set, this is definitely a Christmas gift. This is I don't know. There's like a coffee table book
if you
inside.
hate someone.
Yeah, there's a sheet music. There's sheet music in here, so you can play while the freaking ship goes down. The band kept playing. That's one of my favorite parts of the original the Kings of Comedy. Steve Harvey, that scene. Oh my god!
It also comes with a gun, so you can kill yourself like the captain.
Put a bullet in.
Can I give you a funny comment?
Yeah, Robert, what do you got for me?
Robert says it's more expensive and about the same as the Godfather release that you hated purchasing.
Yeah, that thing.
That was 3 movies.
And that was 3 movies. It's more
Robert
expensive.
has a very valid point there.
Robert, you're totally right. But this comes with a schematic of the boat.
Tyler says, I think I'd like Titanic more if it had Sigourney Weaver fighting aliens in a mech suit.
Tyler says, I think I'd like Titanic more if it had Sigourney Weaver fighting in a mech suit. Me too, Tyler. In 4K, that would have been, what did I say? Breathtaking.
And add Bill Paxton's character from True Lies.
Can we make our ultimate movie?
Yeah, let's just
ultimate
mash
Cameron?
up. Yeah, dude. Well, first off, the ultimate James Cameron film would have about 4 Bill Paxton characters in it.
It would be
It'd
all
have
Bill Paxton.
The punk rock Bill Paxton from Terminator, definitely Aliens Paxton, and definitely scumbag car salesman Paxton from True Lies.
Once you hit the iceberg, he just says, game over, man.
Game.
Iceberg, right ahead. Game over, man. Game over. Just him like following all the characters that are like trying to escape, and he's just in the background saying that over and over.
Holy shit.
I love it.
Hey, physical media might be ending, but we're gonna do some.
We're bigger than physical media, Russ.
Let's keep it going.
So I can't say that this is a thing I'm going to own, and I know my wife loves this as well, and I can't say that I'm probably even going to buy this for her. We'll have to have a discussion on the side, but let's talk about something they want to talk about, Russ, which is Aliens: The Abyss and True Lies. Aliens of the Abyss and True Lies. So there's even less information about these 3. Except for, like I said, there are pre-order links if you want to take it. If you want to roll some dice.
Ridley Scott's film.
It was.
Yes.
It was. But I want to talk about The Abyss first. Check this ditty out. Who remembers the 20th Century Fox special editions that came exactly like this? And they were digipacks, and they had these slide-out, slipcases, but then they'd open like this. They were numbered. I think Predator was involved. There was a bunch of these. Russ, how many of these did you have? Fight Club was one, I think.
Yeah, Fight Club I recall having.
Number 1.
Number one.
It's worthless, but it's number 1.
Let me ask you something though, because you brought up Fight Club.
Yes.
My Fight Club didn't have that number on it, But I
Maybe
remember
I'm
no. There were ones in existence that had a number on it. Though.
Okay.
But I don't think the initial release, because I bought it when it debuted.
Yeah.
But I know exactly. Even I know it wasn't the same studio, but that packaging style similar to the like the Jackie Brown,
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think if I'm confusing two different labels that were putting out stuff just like
No,
this
you're
with
not.
numbers.
Because Fight Club's 20th Century Fox.
Okay, then
You're
I had about
definitely
6. I
right.
had about 6 of these, but the Abyss was number 1, and I just wanted to bring this out just to show that I have never upgraded. I've got my DVD here. I've been waiting so long, and the one thing I want to mention about the Abyss, and I want to ask this question out there to everybody out there who does like the Abyss and is waiting for that too. Like I mentioned to you, this is apparently on the way, and there are alternate, director's cuts for Aliens and the Abyss, as you're aware. Correct? Okay. So I think a lot of things that I've seen out there and some stuff that I'm also wondering is, are we going to get, which 4K are we going to get? Are we going to get both theatrical and directors, or are we just going to get one or the other that he deems to be the one to see? I got to hope in my, deep down in my James Cameron soul that it's going to be all in 4K.
Are you telling me James Cameron never had Final Cut?
Well, for the Abyss specifically,
I'd understand on the Abyss, but for Titanic, he didn't.
Oh, I'm assuming he did, but this doesn't have a director's and a theatrical, does it? Is there a director's cut for Titanic?
That's true. How long is that?
I don't know.
Thing?
But I remember watching this special edition and putting the director's cut on and watching it, and I was like sitting there going along. I was like, oh, there's a scene I don't remember, whatever. The ending is like drastically different, and it was so damn jarring that I feel like if he does not put the theatrical cut on 4K for me, I'm going to be very upset.
Oh wow.
Now, what I do know about that information is he removed it because he did at the time when it was released, because he didn't think the VFX were there. He was like, this looks bad. I don't want this in. We're going to make the story this way. Then when the technology had kind of got there for like the physical media releases, they put some work into it and then gave you the director's cut now that he felt like it could be what it is. So I'm just curious where he's at now when it comes to these. And I don't know if anyone has a preference, directors or theatrical for the Abyss. Let me know if anyone cared to chime in on that. But I'm hoping for theatrical here.
I was aware of none of that.
Were you not?
No. I've never seen the Abyss.
Whoa.
Here's a moment.
Hey.
I know. Here's
I say that like 20 times a night. I don't know why I just said that to you.
People can roast me for not seeing something now. I think it's the one James Cameron movie I've never seen. And do you know why?
Why?
Ever since I was 10 years old, I started getting migraines. And when I get a migraine, it starts off with like this little blur in one side of my eye, and it gradually gets bigger. And it really looks like what the Abyss looks like, and Donnie Darko.
That
look,
thing, that
that's
like worm,
exactly what it looks like.
that water worm.
When I get a migraine in my eye, and even as a kid, I just didn't want to watch it.
You didn't want to see it?
No.
So you mean you're not going to pick this up then?
No, I'm an adult now. I can handle it.
You're not going to support
As a
physical
child,
media?
I was terrified by James Cameron's blurry nonsense.
Did you hear what I said about Best Buy? We have to buy everything now, Russ. We have to keep this hobby alive. So Aliens, would you buy that in 4K?
Of course I'd buy Aliens in 4K. What do you think I am, man? An asshole?
I don't know. Maybe. They do have that awesome Blu-ray box set that has 1, 2, 3, and 4.
The quadrilogy?
The quadrilogy. And that's really awesome. That's on my shelf right now, but I wonder if we'll ever see a full box set, like you said, of those in 4K. With a James Cameron approved and so forth.
Fincher wouldn't come back and approve anything. He hates that movie.
I mean, have you seen the additional footage or the director's cut of Aliens? I think there's a lot of people that swear by that too, and I guess I don't know if it's something that you had to be more familiar with up front, or maybe it just was so like mind blowing that you were like, God, this is the only version I want to watch now. But some of these things, just like the whole Ripley, like what is it, like she's old and like she's like communicating with like her daughter, or saw a daughter she would have had or something. Do you know what I'm talking about in the director's cut?
I've never watched that. No,
it's like it's kind of strange a little.
You let me answer a question.
All right, sorry, go.
I've only seen the theatrical, but I sometimes confuse because I've watched a lot of documentaries on these movies. Even the special features on that quadrilogy you're talking about. I think there's like a feature-length documentary on each film.
Yeah.
So some of this stuff sounds vaguely familiar, But no, like you bringing up Ripley being old,
Yeah.
and basically what Titanic.
Yeah, doing
You
a
know,
Titanic on it.
No, I don't recall that at all. So
Yeah.
I clearly have never seen a director's cut of
No.
Aliens.
Well, obviously, when we know more information about Aliens and the Abyss, we'll be covering it 100 times. I actually expected to be covering Kill Bill a lot more than we had been. That really was a dud this year, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I hate to go on a tangent, but I remember I remember saying that about that when those first news items came out.
Nah,
was like-
who knows? Maybe they're
I don't know.
we gotta sparse this out a bit so
Yeah.
that we have something left after Best Buy blows up the world, just so they can get rich off of healthcare.
Privatized healthcare.
Privatize healthcare.
Best Buy takes over the world.
Big pharma. That's what Best Buy's all about now. Dicks.
The last thing I want to say about James Cameron 4K is that I have no frame of reference on True Lies. You've seen True Lies, I'm assuming?
I have.
I have not. Yeah, I have not. And I love 80s and 90s Arnold, but that was just one that for whatever reason, and I saw Last Action Hero, but I never saw this one. Why do people love this so much?
True Lies.
Mhm.
I've never met anybody who loves True Lies.
Really?
To me,
Why do
True
people-
Lies is, and no, I'm not shitting on True Lies. I'm just saying, to me, True Lies is just passable entertainment. I mean, especially when you're considering who made it. I mean, what is anybody going to sit there and be like, oh God? When James Cameron passes away, it's not going to say the director of True Lies has left this mortal world. You know, it's going to say Terminator, Aliens, Titanic, Avatar. I mean, in comparison, True Lies just felt lesser. And I've seen it and I enjoy it. It's very passable. It's just, even for Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, if you take Cameron off of it, it's mid. It's mid. It's, to me, honestly, it's on par with Last Action Hero.
Any reason why people might be so excited to get it? Is it just that last Cameron movie that they're waiting for? Or there's just that small amount of fans who are like, this is
I think it's
my
a
movie.
combination of that and nostalgia. Like I said, in no way am I saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying, let's say if an announcement of Cameron films came out and it was Aliens, The Abyss, the original Terminator, Terminator 2, but oh shit, they didn't put out True Lies. Nobody's going to be overwhelmingly upset about that.
Nobody? Who would be upset if True Lies didn't come out in 4K?
Metal Ricky said True Lies is legendary.
New Metal Ricky
Legendary.
says True Lies is legendary. In your face, Russ.
It's legendary for what?
I don't know. I've
for
never
what
seen it.
For what Eliza Dushku endured as a minor on that set,
The
which
only-
is terrible. Look it up.
I mean, the only thing that, unfortunately, and I hope this doesn't sound bad, but the only thing I remember from that movie is the Jamie Lee Curtis part, because at that
And
time,
you haven't even seen the movie. But
I
you
haven't.
saw
Well,
that
that's
part.
because that almost entered into pop culture. I think that was like an MTV Movie Awards
No, it
thing, or like a
didn't.
parody or something
we
like
just
that.
discovered masturbation. We were 12.
Well, I mean, back in the '90s, man, and Jamie Lee Curtis was a hottie. I'm sorry, and she was definitely not afraid of showing some skin, and she definitely did that whole thing in
that
True
shit
Lies.
did not enter pop culture.
Dude, it did. It did. Everyone knew that shit.
In True Lies?
Yeah, that scene. I'm just saying
All right,
that
I'm
scene.
wrong. I admit
See,
it.
even
I'm
my wife in
wrong
the
on
corner
my-
is like, yes, it did.
I'm wrong on my assessment of True Lies. Okay.
I mean, maybe not True Lies, but that scene, you're definitely way off base.
No love for Tia Career. She's in it.
Is she? See, nobody cares. Tom Arnold.
That was the problem with True Lies.
Dude, I love Tom Arnold in the 90s. He always cracked me up
He's
when he showed
actually
up and
pretty
shit.
good in True Lies. But I'll tell you, the only reason, in my opinion, is Bill Paxton.
He's awesome.
If the whole movie should have featured Bill Paxton, he's not in it long enough. I want that character. I want Cadillac Man, but with Bill Paxton's True Lies car salesman.
I'm definitely buying Aliens. I'm definitely buying The Abyss. Should I blind buy True Lies? Let me know.
I think Jamie Lee's hot.
Right.
I'm not saying she's not either. Man, I'm just gonna shut up.
I mean,
feel
Fish
like
Called
I'm-
Wanda?
Well, to be fair, no.
Trading
To
Places?
be honest, no. I've never found Jamie Lee Curtis that attractive.
No.
Okay, now it's getting a little pervy. You should move on.
All right, well, Russ, that's all for James Cameron and Jamie Lee Curtis. Let's move on
Does
to...
Kate Winslet take her top off in Titanic?
Someone literally just said she was topless in the movie Trading Places.
Yes. That's clearly all I remember from any of these movies. All right, so next up, Russ, before we lose all
Wait,
of our
Trading
viewers...
Places had Eddie Murphy in it? What?
One of the biggest announcements, or one of the biggest slates, I should say, that
Yes.
excited me the most since we have been away is Scream Factory, Shout Factory, Shout Select.
And one of these is James Cameron adjacent.
It is. It is. And I'm really excited to talk about, like, nearly all of these titles. I hope everybody out there is getting some good, or thinking the same thing, enjoying what Scream Factory and Shout Factory have been putting out lately. But their December stuff is fire. Let us know, comment, tell us what you've already picked up, what you've already pre-ordered. We're going to run through a bunch of these. There's a lot here that I'm going to be picking up, some that I am a huge fan of. And I'm going to start with Clue. Clue from Shout Select. This is one of their maybe... Huh?
I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with Clue.
Clue from 4K. This is maybe not the biggest title on this release, or this list, but we're going to get to all of them. But I did want to start with Clue just because it is a personal favorite of mine, and I wanted to give this a personal shout out. And this one's coming out December 12th, 4K Ultra HD, one of my favorite comedies of all time, and couldn't be more excited. Now, again, this is Shout Select 4K. I've owned this DVD forever, but I've never upgraded to Blue. I've always just watched the DVD.
Was there a Blue release? Just
I think there was. Yep. But I never went there. I just kind of kept my DVD. But now that this is coming out in 4K in a collector's edition, no less.
Yeah, it is really cool.
It's pretty wild.
Is Jonathan Lynn still alive, the director?
That's a good question. I don't know. Does anyone know that? Anyone know if Jonathan Lynn, the director, is still alive?
Let us know in the live stream.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this movie a little bit, but just the release itself. Scream Factory has not put out what any features are coming with any of these yet. It's just here they are. You can pre-order them. Take a chance, which clearly I've done on this for sure. I feel like in the history of Clue, there's so many things that have been talked about over the years that could be included here that we just don't know what will or what won't be. The one thing that's, I think, a no-brainer, which is included as the only real thing on this DVD, is this movie famously has 3 different endings. And when you went to see it in the theater way back when, they gave you a random one. But on the DVD, you can be surprised at what ending they give you, or you can watch all 3 in a row. And they're labeled as, here's, they give you the first ending, then they show you a title card that says, maybe that's how it went, or it could have been this. They show you another ending. And then finally, the last one says, but this is how it really happened, which is my favorite ending of the 3. I'm not going to spoil any of them. If you're a Clue fan, tell me what your favorite ending was. The true one is my favorite by far. But apparently there was a 4th ending that got cut.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if it was filmed but apparently it was cut. And I've read what the ending is. It's very more mean in tone than what the film is. There's more of a darkness to it, whereas these other ones, there's still a little bit of levity, and I feel like they were like, nope, can't have that. So I don't know if it was ever brought to film or not, but that could be out there. Maybe what do you call it? Like a previs. Maybe they could do an animatic of it or something.
Storyboard.
Yeah, right. I'm not
they
sure.
did with Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Use some of the footage mashed up with,
Yeah. There's plenty of scenes also in the original trailer that I have seen that are not in the movie. So there's got to be deleted scenes and so forth out there. And as far as extras go, I've looked at the actual Scream website to see, sometimes you get like with Fargo as an example, you're going to get that snow globe thing and a little golf notepad.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering if anything would be coming with these, and there's nothing listed, but I feel like there's a lot of fun things you could do with a movie like this. It's based on a damn board game, for God's sake. If another company overseas, in UK, maybe did something with all the little extras. I could see Clue cards being included and
maybe a replica of a hand.
I don't get it.
Talk to me.
Oh, talk to me. I didn't get that. But now I got it. Anyway, the movie, Russ. You've seen Clue?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
It's great.
Yeah?
It's a breezy movie. Jonathan Lynn is a cool little breezy comedy director.
You like the word breezy?
He's breezy.
He's breezy.
I mean,
He's
Clue
sleazy.
is breezy. My Cousin Vinny is breezy. Greedy is breezy. The Whole 9 Yards is breezy. I don't know. I like that. What his films and Clue is like this to me. It's like staying home from school when you faked being sick, but you can't go anywhere, and it's on TV. It's comfort. It's a comfort movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Infinitely rewatchable.
And screw Jamie Lee Curtis, but Leslie Ann Warren, I don't care. Growing up, I had a thing for her, man. Let's get real. Let's cut the BS and get real.
Natural Born Killers. That was awesome. But You had me lose my. You said Jamie Lee Curtis. My mind just went crazy again, Russ. Jeez, can we stay on task?
I keep going back to that pivotal moment in 1993 that captured the zeitgeist.
All I want to say about Clue, because maybe we'll get the opportunity to do a review of it when this comes out. I don't know. There's probably not a lot of interest in Clue. I'm sure a lot of you are like, get to Point Break already.
Who doesn't love Clue?
I don't know.
I've
Are we
always-
getting any Clue love?
Yeah, people like Clue.
Okay,
Who-
Clue
yeah,
love. Okay,
yeah.
this is the most quotable movie ever. I want to say to this day, I just watched this again, like maybe even a couple of weeks ago with my son. This movie, every single time I watch it, there's maybe not at this point a brand new laugh, but I feel like there's always maybe a laugh that was like under like the ground a little bit that you didn't really hear the first time, or like a reference or like a weird offhand remark that all of a sudden you get now. It like clicks. Like it's one of those movies that there's just like a wit to it that I really feel like lends itself to just rewatching over and over and over again. I think it's brilliant.
And it comes from that era of great performers,
Totally.
specifically in comedy. So not only are you watching, and that this is what makes it rewatchable, you're not only laughing at the joke, you're laughing at the delivery of the joke. If I
Yes.
repeat that joke, it's not that funny. But if I watch Tim Curry saying it in Tim Curry's way, that's what we love, and you're revisiting, and that's the magic. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, and it's magical.
And we don't that used to be everything in movies, which appears practically never now. I mean, it's non-existent shit.
Yeah.
I can't even think of a modern film that gives me that vibe at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. Oh, see, we got phones ringing. See, this is live, baby. Yeah, we got spam. This is classic spam hours.
Is that Carlito?
Carlito's calling. I had to silence him.
Wow. He's going to be mad about that.
Just to wrap up Clue, I am excited to see what Shout Select is putting with this collector's edition. I will say there is an entire Clue documentary, making of documentary, that was released. I want to say it might have even been through like a Vinegar Syndrome partner label that maybe would be cool to be included, or something like it. Fun fact about Clue that I just found out. See, you're always learning about Clue. Always. That the guy that plays Mr. Body, Lee Ving, who is a famous musician of that era, which I don't really know him too well from that. I only know him from this movie. That wasn't even his voice the whole movie. He was dubbed some other person. Michael McKean was given like an interview, and he was like, oh yeah, he was such a great guy to work with. He was so cool. But in the end, they dubbed over his voice, because sometimes you just don't know about casting. Sometimes you just don't know what's going to click, what's not going to click. And when they started seeing it back, they were like, now we got to like dub this guy's voice. Now I'd love to know what he really sounds like.
I read in a similar article that he sounds like Tom Hardy in Dark Knight Rises.
That's probably why they had to dub him.
I hope we get that dub in this 4K release.
Unnecessary. Oh. So Clue, day one pre-order for me. If you do go to Shout Factory, you can get a poster, and it is that classic original art, which I love. It's like the schematic of the house with all the different characters on the front. It looks great. Love it. Clue, you're my favorite. But next up, Russ, Point Break.
Hallelujah.
Point Break. Thank God we're not talking about Clue or Jamie Lee anymore. Point Break in 4K.
Oh, yeah.
We've covered Point Break. Do you remember when?
I don't, but I'm going to guess it was probably some 4K scan on a 2K disc of a Steelbook.
I thought you said 4K scam.
Oh,
Like,
4K
no.
scan.
Yeah, someone was scamming us.
Nah.
No, you recommended this to the people, Russ.
I'm on the streets trying to get bootleg 4K Point Breaks. Give me two, Utah. Give me two.
Give me two. Give me two bootlegs. No, dude, you recommended it to the people. Remember when we were doing our
Oh.
famous recommendations?
Hell yeah, dude. This is on my list. What movie? Oh my God. Who doesn't want to see this in 4K?
I mean, you brought that up then at that point. That's why I'm saying this is like your moment to shine.
Dude, I mean, all the beautiful scenes of surfing, skydiving, Gary Busey looking for a dog. I mean, there's so many great things in this film to witness in 4K, Matt.
Well, Russ, I've only ever owned this on DVD as well. Surprise. How about you?
I owned that, and I owned this Blu-ray. I'm along for the journey with Point Break. I'm going to keep buying this damn movie until Best Buy comes and kills me personally.
So let's...
That's right, Matt.
Now, Point Break. There's
It
no
is-
insert. Just a nice little...
It's
just,
beautiful.
Just the old disc in there.
Looks great. A lot of love put into this one.
They loved it. They loved it. Now, this was what they called, Russ, the Pure Adrenaline Edition.
Oh, yeah.
Pure Adrenaline. They had 8 deleted scenes. It's make or break retrospective featurette, ride the wave surfing featurette, some on location shit. Here you go. This is what I had, and I've never had this on Blue, so now it's my time.
Oh yeah.
My time to shine, Russ. Another collector's edition with no details. A slipcase is coming, just like with Clue. You're going to have that also. The original Blu-ray, like I just mentioned, came from 20th Century Fox, and they had all those same features that I had. So the Blu-ray you have has all those features too. So we're going to assume that Point Break here is going to probably get the same.
Yeah, I'm not expecting Patrick Swayze to return.
Will we get Keanu to come back?
No.
Will we get Gary to come back?
That's if they put a Gary Busey commentary on Point Break.
Not commentary. Do you think he'd do an interview real fast?
Oh, man, come on. Let me dream big for a moment, man. I want a Gary Busey commentary.
Yes.
Not even on any movie.
Yeah.
Shit. Give me a Gary Busey commentary on The Abyss.
Yeah, but no Keanu.
Why would Keanu come back to this?
I'm
I
just
mean,
wondering.
he's a nice guy. I know him. And no, why?
What about Lori Petty? Think she'd come back?
She's awesome, but I doubt it. What is she even? I think she's an activist.
So that's a no.
I don't think she acts at all.
All right, and ditto for
I'd love Catherine Bigelow to come back or James Cameron to come back. I mean,
but no.
I doubt it. They haven't for any of these other previous releases, and I don't understand why.
Well, Shout Select's giving you the classic art with the classic slide or slipcase, which I think is real, kind of like sort of like this version that I've got, except on the bottom you've got the dead presidents, but this is just a big wave.
But that was
I like the poster.
Yeah, the poster artwork. That was the original VHS. I remember having that as a kid.
There's also a Steelbook.
It's the one time where even Point Break, if they use floating heads, even Point Break pulls it off.
Yeah, no, yeah, it does. And look at Patrick, for Christ's sake.
Everything about Point Break should be ridiculous when you hear it out loud or read it on paper, but goddamn, everything in this movie works. Even floating heads on the poster.
Keanu Reeves is wet, looking over his shoulder. Patrick Swayze is looking stoic into the breeze there. He looks great.
Jamie Lee Curtis is giving a striptease in a hotel room. It's everything. It encapsulates the 90s.
It does encapsulate the 90s. It does encapsulate the 90s. The steel art. Oh, man, I don't have it up here. Let me see if I can find the steel art for you real quick, Russ, just so we can show that real fast. Just so you can see. Point Break, Steel Book. Now, this is a Best Buy exclusive RIP, so you're going to want to get that as fast as you can.
This shit's real exclusive. God damn.
It got real exclusive real
We're
quick.
gonna put this out and then put physical media out of its misery.
Yeah, it's got the cartoony slide down plastic case with Patrick Swayze and the Ronald Reagan mask blowing up the car.
I'm gonna miss Best Buy.
I don't have that in the control booth.
I'm gonna miss Best Buy's audacity.
They do have some audacity.
With the Reservoir Dogs cover with this Point Break tattoo cover. I don't know what this is. The graphic novel of Point Break, I suppose. I don't know what's going on here.
And you can't really tell what the slide down's going to do. I think it's a slide down. Don't get me wrong. There's no slide down image. It just seems like it will be. But
the mask will come off Swayze.
That would be awesome. Okay, we got a question in the back.
Well, more of
An observations or an update.
GK fan 69.
GK fan.
He said Keanu was on the Bill and Ted shout release, so I think it's possible he could be on this one.
So Bill and Ted did have a shout release, and Keanu Reeves from, who was it from?
This is from GK fan 69.
GK fan 69. Nice. Keanu Reeves was on.
But let me ruin that for you.
Oh, God.
Keanu Reeves is really good friends with Alex Winter. That's the same reason why he did a third Bill and Ted, which that wasn't going to get made at all unless Keanu did it, and Keanu didn't have all of his John Wick and internet clout. He was basically doing Alex Winter a solid, which is awesome.
Helped his friend out.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't think he's coming back to help out Gary Busey.
Not coming back to help out Gary.
He should. Somebody should. Jake Busey should do something. I don't know what's going on over there, but
Well, did you pre-order this, Russ?
hell yeah.
Okay, just
dude.
checking. How many people out there pre-ordered it? Let us
Hell
know.
Yeah, I pre-ordered this.
I do think it's one of the best. Maybe could you still call it underrated? Action film?
Incredibly. I think Point Break, oh my God, Point Break is if Point Break is if Roadhouse made sense. and
Roadhouse
was
on the
a
beach.
Success. No, that's what I'm saying. It's not that. It actually works. You know, you're not. I don't laugh at Point Break. Do you?
I feel like some people do, and
Ooh, you
well, no,
can, but
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I feel like that is the position some people take on both of those movies.
No, but if you're laughing at it, you're laughing at it because it's 1991 and it's surfing and it's all. But contextually within the film, it's there. It's logical. It all makes sense. It looks beautiful. You believe Patrick Swayze swells.
He is swole. Patrick Swayze swole up.
That's all I'm gonna say. Patrick Swayze swells. No,
He made me swell.
Patrick Swayze sells lines of dialogue that sound ridiculous, but and at first I thought, all right, maybe I was just a kid watching this, and I'll buy. When you're a kid, everything like going against the system sounds great, or it's not tragic if you die doing something you love, all that kind of shit.
Well, yeah, the Keanu lines were elevated for sure. I'm an FBI agent.
Oh, dude, even as a kid, we knew Keanu was
But that's the
out
stuff
of
I
his
feel like
element.
people
I'm talking
lampoon.
about Swayze.
Well,
though.
Swayze too. Sorry,
The
I didn't mean to cut him with
The
Keanu.
character of Bodhi is ridiculous, basically. What I'm saying is this isn't Roadhouse, where that character is fucking ridiculous, and I'm laughing at that character. I'm not laughing at Bodhi. I want Bodhi to live. I'm sad at Bodhi's fate in this movie. You're not sad at anything that happens in Roadhouse. That's what I mean. This movie succeeds on a dramatic level.
When Red's hardware store
And-
burned down, I was sad.
See what I mean? And it has, when a dude runs out in red footy pajamas, that's what I'm talking about. This is not Roadhouse.
I
And
was
it
sad
has
then.
one of the greatest chase sequences ever put on film.
It does. It
Since
does.
the French Connection.
Sorry, I'm crying.
That whole damn chase sequence where Johnny and Bodhi are running through houses, running through all those back streets in California. Dude, it's
cool.
incredible.
It's well.
Bodhi literally
it's well
picks
shot.
up a dog and throws it at him in one
yeah.
part. Like, holy
It's-
shit.
And it's a great pivotal scene as well because
It
they
is.
realize who they are.
Yes, yes. Well, Gary Busey knew all along.
Gary
He was
Busey
studying the tan line on that one dude's ass, you remember?
I do remember that. I agree with you. Who wants to see a review of this once this comes out? Would you want to do a deep dive, Russ? Would you want to go deep?
I think the people out there want us to tell it.
What do they want? What do they want?
Robert Faulkner said Sam Elliott dying was tragic.
See, I shed a tear when Sam Elliott died wait, spoiler alert.
Okay,
when Sam
Miho.
Elliott died- Jerry Goldsmith, Russ, when I watched Rudy, you better believe I was bawling when Sam Elliott kicked the bucket.
A lot of people are so happy you guys are live tonight.
You like that? You like it when we're live, baby?
Thanks, Mio.
Thanks. Thanks, Mio. Yeah, you don't get all this juicy banter when it's all clipped the hell
But
out.
listen. I'm not. You are. If you legitimately are being serious and you were affected by Sam Elliott's death in Roadhouse, knife in his stomach and all, I guess. Man, come on. It's a corny movie. Like every Point Break doesn't have that. It has a cheese to it. I'll give you that. There isn't a
one
level.
slice.
Exactly. Thank you. If Point Break has one slice of cheese, Roadhouse is goddamn double extra deluxe cheese, like quarter pounder fucking cheese
sauce.
cheese.
Okay,
Yes, it's
extra
all
cheese.
cheese.
It's all cheese.
And it's endearing, and I love it. It's a great fucking movie for what it is. But Point Break doesn't get enough credit because it gets lumped in with the cheese, when in fact it should get lumped in more with James Cameron type movies. It should. He was an executive producer. He was fucking Catherine Bigelow for years before this. I'm sure they were trading tips on directing and all that.
This is a tea
It
channel.
looks like a Cameron movie.
You just spilling the tea on James Cameron having sex with Catherine Bigelow 40 years ago.
He had sex with Gary Busey too, man.
That would be a waste of time.
Why don't you tell me this theory of yours? We'll go out and fuck Gary Busey.
This stream has gone off the rails.
So yeah, I pre-ordered Point Break.
So you pre-ordered. I can't get it together. Okay, so we pre-ordered. We'll do a review. We love Point Break.
Hold on, real quick.
Can
No,
we
I'd
move-
say, all right, hold on. I'm gonna totally go back on everything I just said. Fuck
Oh
it.
yeah,
Y'all are
rewind the
right.
tapes.
Yo, you guys are right because I just remembered. You remember one scene where Tyler finds out who he really is, who Johnny Utah is?
Yeah,
And she's like pointing the gun at him, and he
Yeah.
wakes up.
yeah.
Do you remember what Lori Petty says at the end of that scene? She's like, "Don't you have a soul?" And like runs out of the room. Yeah, you're right.
Pre-order canceled.
No, pre-ordered two of them.
Two of them.
now.
Pre-ordered
Double
two of
that
them.
up.
How
Take
many
that
people
amount
out
and
there
double it.
pre-ordered Point Break? How many people out there pre-ordered all of these titles, for Christ's sake? There's a lot. All right, so let's move on, for God's sake. We've talked about Point Break enough. Let's talk about one people are dying to know about Russ. Dying for. You ready for this? JFK. JFK. I wanted to point this out just for 1 second, only because this is now like the 5th Oliver Stone Shout Select. I mean, Christ. We had Platoon. We've had this. We covered Natural Born Killers. Has the Doors come out yet in 4K?
It has, but it wasn't Shout Select.
Not Shout Select.
No.
You're missing out, Shout Select. Missing an opportunity. I don't know how many Oliver Stone films are left at this
Probably
point.
more.
I watched Natural Born Killers last night for the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time. What other Oliver Stone movies do we not have in 4K yet?
Let me think about it. That 9/11 one with Nicolas Cage.
Dude, was it really? I did not know
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're shocked I didn't know? Jeez, okay.
I mean, Alexander. I wouldn't say Oliver Stone knocks it out of the park all the time. He peaked. He
Well-
peaked pretty much after Natural Born Killers. I'd say there's not too many gems after that. There's not saying they're terrible films, but they're not hitting the highs that Platoon hit and Born on the 4th of July and those types of movies.
Well, the only reason I really wanted to bring this up, and I don't want to really talk about it for that long because I don't really know JFK that much. Have you seen JFK?
I have.
You have? I haven't seen it, but I just wanted to share really quickly because it just caught my eye. Let me see. Let me just see if I can get the real box shot to show. Okay, yeah, here it is. So this is Shout Select again. Shout Select 4K. The box is huge.
Mhm.
Look how big that box is. Now
It's
the one.
coming with 2 because he basically did a sequel.
Yeah.
That's more, I didn't watch that, but it's more, I think, of a documentary, and it's updated with like basically the theories he posited in the film in 1991. I think some of them have been debunked and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like that, or have altered.
Yeah.
So I think you're getting basically 2 features in this.
Oh, and that's what I was about to say. This box is huge. And when I looked up what's actually in there, so you're getting 3 full-length documentaries,
Oh, 3.
3,
Okay.
and a feature film.
Yeah, that Revisited. That's the one I'm talking about.
It's
I knew that
It's
existed.
a feature film called PT 109. Do you know who it stars as John F. Kennedy? Cliff Robertson.
Pre-ordered.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know who Cliff Robertson.
Yes.
I know who Wild Hearts
Can't Be
mulleted.
Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. Cliff Robertson is playing JFK in this additional film that's in the JFK box set. He does
Matt-
unconfirmed if he has the mullet. I haven't seen it.
You just blew my mind out of a car with the top down. I can't believe Cliff Robertson played JFK, and I have not watched it 30 times already.
It's just wild to me that you're getting JFK director's cut and like 4 movies to go with it in this gigantic box. Good for you, Shout Select. Thanks for picking
What's-
up all this crap for the
wait.
fans. Are there fans for JFK out there? I have never even cared a moment to watch this.
Look at the cast. I bet you will after that.
Is it like Oppenheimer?
Dude, yes.
3 hours of talking?
Did you know Gary Oldman was in it?
No.
Did you know Joe Pesci is in it?
No.
Did you know Kevin Bacon was in it?
No.
Did you know Donald Sutherland was in
No.
it? Did you know Sissy Spacek was in it? I mean, I can keep fucking going.
I
There's
knew
a ton of
that-
people I know you personally like are in it.
I knew that Kevin Costner was in it. That's it.
He plays District Attorney Jim Morrison.
And I like Kevin Costner.
I know.
But this
Notice I
movie-
didn't say his name.
Come on, Kevin. All right, well, the people have heard enough about JFK, but I did want to bring that up. If there is an Oliver Stone fan out there that happens to like JFK, Jesus Christ, you're getting like the package of a lifetime here. It's probably like $300, but, or maybe not. I don't know. It's Shout Select. But a title I am personally excited about, Russ. Again, Scream Factory. Maybe you, maybe not. The Ring, 4K, but not just The Ring 1. We're getting, let's see, where is it? Here it is, The Ring Collection.
Ooh.
So now you've pre-ordered it. So this is coming out December 12th from Scream Factory. First time on 4K. Now, if you remember, Russ, we covered a Paramount 20th anniversary steelbook of the original Ring
I do remember that.
on Blu-ray,
Yeah.
like this year.
Did you pick that up?
No chance in
Good.
hell.
Good man.
I was waiting for the 4K. Remember, we pretty much said F you to Paramount for doing that, and like 10 other steels just like it. But now here you have finally the Ring in 4K, but you have to have the other ones with it. That is kind of dragging me down a little bit. It's kind of bringing me down.
Yeah. And I know you are a bigger fan than I am of The Ring, but
Yes.
I know I've never even talked to you about your thoughts on the sequels, but I know you're a man of taste. So
Thank you.
I know you probably do not like. There was only one sequel, wasn't there?
2,
Was there? I thought that other one was like a
remake or
a
something.
reboot.
It's
Cool.
in there. It's in there.
A reboot. Cool.
Let me know out there if there's any fans of The Ring in 4K, starring Naomi Watts. The original is great as well, but this is the U.S. remake that we're referring to. Honestly, again, the original Ring is the only one anyone could possibly want here. And to bundle these together, it does kind of suck. I do have a feeling that it could be because maybe Paramount's holding on to the option to do something in a solo. I've seen sometimes where it's like, we could only put this out in 4K if we put them all together. I remember the Scream Factory had to do that same thing with Halloween. What was it, 6, 7, and 8 or something? You had to buy them in a bundle.
Yeah, I think it was 4, 5, and 6. Didn't they do that?
I think they went 1 through 5. No, they went 1 through 5 in the solo releases, and then it was 6,
yeah,
7, 8.
then it was like Resurrection,
Yeah.
H2O.
Yeah, and they had to sell them in a bundle because otherwise they were not allowed to release them separately. I just wonder if we're ever going to get a Ring 4K solo, which is honestly what I would really want here. Do you have any thoughts on the original Ring? I mean, I feel like it's a really awesome horror remake classic for sure. I don't know if you can call it a classic of modern horror or 2000s horror, but it's solid.
Shit. I mean, I'd call it a classic of modern horror, but
Yeah.
that's no hard title to come to come by.
Okay.
No. I will. I'll say, yeah, dude. For an American horror remake, yeah, it's good. It's probably the best American horror remake of a Japanese horror film, right?
Yeah, and I mean, this definitely spawned so much as a result, which is funny. Like a remake spawns. Like not the original that spawned a remake that spawned another, like, not genre, but a lot of films kind of came after this. They remade so many other films from that time to try to like recapture that magic.
Yeah, like The Grudge and all that.
Yeah, and I mean, you're right. This is excellent. Naomi Watts is awesome. Great imagery. It's haunting. The only thing that has ever bothered me about
The
it.
kid.
Yes.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes. And it
Matt,
still
you
bothers
hate children.
I do hate children, for God's sake. Oh God, the actors, the kid actor in this, it's first of all, it's that cliche kid that is gloomy, knows what's going on, knows the ghost's there, knows what's happening, but doesn't really want to talk about it. Says instead of mom, uses the mom's real name. It's like a whole, like, Rachel, like it's like this whole thing. He's drawing the pictures. He knows what's going on, But
Just spit it out, kid.
I mean, you saw it the best in Sixth Sense. You saw it kind of okay in
Nightmare 5, The Dream Child.
and Stir of Echoes. They had a Stir of Echoes. In Stir of Echoes, Kevin Bacon, his son could see sort of what was going on. He was a little weird. This one just pissed me off straight up. Like every time he's on screen, I hate it.
Who's the worst? What's the worst kid in a movie for you?
The worst kid in a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I
don't
thought you'd have a go-to.
No, I don't have a go-to for worst kid.
All of them.
Would you not gonna call the cops? From Bloodsport. That guy was really bad. He's a bad kid actor. I mean, we talked about Bronx Tale too. That kid, he's kind of a bad kid actor. But anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's definitely something that I did not pre-order here because I'm not going to buy all 3 of these in this box.
I would
Definitely
not do that.
it definitely ain't happening. Let me know down below. Did anyone else pick up this Ring collection? How many people have pre-ordered this? Anyone? Any comments out there?
A lot of people love the Japanese original.
Yes, the original Japanese is really good. Original Japanese original is very good. I actually thought the Japanese original Grudge was pretty decent. There's a movie out there called The Eye that was really good. These all kind of are the same too within, those ones. They all kind of felt similar, and then they remade them all to be similar.
I prefer the one from Connecticut.
Grant Johnson said, "Kids suck."
Thanks, Grant. I appreciate that. Kids do suck, especially when they're in movies.
Ouch.
Last but nearly not least, Russ, with maybe one honorable mention for the Scream Factory lineup that I want to cover, is Dead Zone. Dead Zone coming out December 19th on 4K from Scream, the David Cronenberg Christopher Walken masterpiece. And I've got my original Scream Factory Blu-ray right here with it's the collector's edition. It's got some new art, which I gotta say, I didn't really care for too much. This is what I really like. The original art. This is it.
Very basic.
This is the one. This is great. I think this is where it's at right here. But this is coming out in 4K, and they're just bringing this to you. This with a slip. None of this...
No updated artwork.
No updated artwork. And this is again, we've talked about this a little bit, and I don't want to spend too much time. We mentioned before that this is a pretty decent King adaptation, but never really felt like a Cronenberg film to me. I don't know if it did to you. I always kind of forget this is David Cronenberg.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and I think, this is just a really good reason to play some Christopher Walken clips during this moment. This is why I really wanted to bring it up.
Interested in,
all those SNL skits where he's like,
doing
his Dead Zone routine, but it's all comedy.
We've discussed it in the past, but first off, you're right. I always forget Cronenberg did that.
Yeah.
I always forget that. And when I do think about that, I'd say it's probably my least favorite
of his
Cronenberg movie, but I'm open to rewatching it because dude, I love Walken. Walken's a top 10 actor for me.
He rocks in this, and so does Sheen. He's awesome too.
Yeah, Martin Sheen. He's like
ass.
the politician.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, I love a lot of people in it. I love Cronenberg. Maybe I got to rewatch it. I don't know if I should buy it on 4K to rewatch it, but...
I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to see the difference, but I'm pretty set with my blue. I kind of like how this movie kind of plays episodically, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's almost like there's little like stories within the story because he kind of meets different people as he goes, and like as soon as he meets the next person, the other people are just gone. Like he helps that kid with the...
It does. It almost feels like you're right.
There's
it
like a
feels
politician
like a
angle.
mini-series, even though it's not. It feels like something. You're right.
Tom Skerritt and the serial killer element. He's like that kid's tutor.
Yeah. Even compared to other Cronenberg movies or even other Stephen King movies of that era, it doesn't feel as epic for some reason.
Yeah, it is. It's
not that others were epic even. It just feels... Yeah, TV. It feels...
It does. It feels a little soft, a little TV movie-esque. But the last one, I wanted to give you the last word on this segment, Russ. And maybe the people at home will give them the last segment. But
I got one I want to get off my chest.
That's what I'm going to give you the last word on. So coming out, Russ, for you, December 26th on Blu-ray, finally breaking out of the last Boy Scout 2-pack. It is. Where did it go? Here it is. Last Man Standing, starring Bruce Willis.
I have my copy right here, Matt.
Russ, I got nothing. I just want you to tell the people why they should give Willis a chance here.
Well, let me explain it to you. This is my edition of Last Man Standing. I've never seen this fucking movie. I've never seen it. It has Walken in it, too.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is he a gangster or something? What's going on this
I
cover?
No, I have no idea. And it's probably a good movie. I'm not even trashing it. But Last Boy Scout, holy shit. That's one of my favorite movies of all time since childhood. If you had to ask me what is a movie I can quote from beginning to end more than any other film in existence, it would be The Last Boy Scout. I mean, I have this film memorized. And yet here I am with my ridiculous action double feature Blu-ray.
So what you were hoping for was Last Boy Scout from Shout Select or Shout Factory.
They hit me with the Last Man Standing bullshit. Come on, Damon Wayans can't get any love here. Danielle Harris. Who else is in Last Boy? Halle Berry. Come on.
People have never even heard of this.
If you're just joining
Good,
us,
really? You guys have never heard of Last Man Standing?
Neither have I.
You've never? I knew
Did
what
you?
it was. Yeah, it came out in like '97 or something. I remember when it came out.
No idea.
But it didn't hit. It wasn't big. It wasn't. It was nothing.
Will this make the segment
Actually,
when
I think
it gets
Walter
uploaded?
Hill or something. Yeah, Walter Hill made it.
Someone literally just wrote Walter Hill for the win.
Wow, there
I
we
was
go.
just about to
Walter Hill
say.
for who said Walter Hill? Walter Hill for the win.
Cinephiles Anonymous.
Cinephiles
Yeah.
Anonymous. Walter Hill for
And
the
no
win.
disrespect to Walter Hill whatsoever. Walter Hill's got classics. But I want The Last Boy Scout on 4K, god damn it. And
Wow.
I'm never going to get it.
No, I don't think you are.
For anyone who has not seen Last Boy Scout, it is a celebration of toxic masculinity. And I say that with a big ass thumbs up for it. It is so over the top, sarcastic and cynical. And it's just taking the piss out of every buddy action cop while being one. It is the scream of buddy action films where it's mocking them while being one. Bruce Willis, every line he says is a goddamn roast or a, oh, dude, it's beautiful.
Can I get the Bruce Willis?
Beautiful.
I like that clip right here.
Yeah, that's what it's from.
I know. That's why I want to. That's what I like that.
Last scene. Yes. All right. To my point about its celebration of macho bullshit. That's the end. There's a scene at the end of the movie. I guess the happy ending, and the happy end is that Bruce Willis's character Joe Allenback, his wife gets in line, and his daughter calls him sir, and he's like, I like that. Throws the football. That's the happy ending.
Dog barks, credit rolls.
That's
awesome.
Happy ending, dude. Like
Wow.
everything, it's incredible. It's an incredible movie. Dude, Roger Ebert said that. He said, I have
Incredible
never.
movie?
He did. He said, what did he say about Last Boy Scout? He said, I've never seen a more misogynistic mainstream film, but for what it's doing, it knocks it out the park. It's like it's done very well.
You got the Kim Coates autograph.
I did, yeah, and I reenacted the scene with him.
I know, that was
I
awesome.
reenacted the scene with Kim Coates where he's, or Bruce Willis is asking him for a cigarette. They're holding him hostage, and every time Bruce asks him for a light, he punches Bruce Willis in the face, and then Bruce goes, I seem to have dropped my cigarette. He literally, like, that's how he talks. I seem to have dropped my cigarette. May I have another? And Kim, oh, sure, but here you go, man. Now I'm gonna need a light. If you touch me again, I'll kill you. And Ashley goes, light, sure, buddy, sure. Boom, bullseye. Hits him again. And while he's laughing and shit, Bruce Willis just stands up, hits him, shoves his nose through his, that
old
move
gag.
Everyone used to talk
That
about
old
in
chestnut,
80s movies.
the old nose in the brain routine.
Yes. Dude, Kim Coates falls down, like slams on the ground, and the other guy's like, oh my God, you fucking killed him. And Willis is just, nah, I needed a light. Stuff like that. It's brilliant.
If you love Last Boy
Brilliant.
Scout, tell us out there. If you've never heard of that either, you probably stopped watching. But if you are just joining us or you're just dropped in, I am Matt.
I am Russ.
Welcome to our live stream. We have been covering physical media news and no reviews. Well, kind of some.
Maybe.
A little bit of reviews. But just wanted to check in with the people at home, just make sure everybody's still... You all doing all right out there?
Yeah, you got a nice comment from.
Nice comment. Let's hear a nice comment.
This is a nice comment from Bubba Global J.
I love Bubba Global J. What's up, homeboy?
He said, "What I love about the 4K Kings is that you guys are quite reluctant, and that you made great arguments to help save them money. Other channels are all like buy.
Yeah, I mean, I can't buy, so I'm like, I mean, so Bubba Global J said, thank you for giving us the honesty, the truth.
Yes.
You show up to this channel for the truth, not for just someone to shove these titles down your throat, buy them all.
Mhm.
We have discerning
more-
taste.
Well, not only that, I mean, I think the channel, and I think you pick up on it, Bubba, that it's about geeking out more than it is about being an authority and telling you what to buy. It's just that gleeful feeling we all have and picking up the movies we love and talking about them. And if you're watching and you love Last Boy Scout as much as I do, you're going to be as enraged as I am that this last man standing shit's occurring.
That was sweet, Russ.
No,
That was
no, but
nice.
I mean, seriously, that's what it really is. It's not like we're sitting here, hey, fuck you, you don't like JFK? I mean,
This should be a JFK segment.
yeah, we're not Criterion snobs. We're not, and nothing wrong with Criterion. It's just, try to be as authentic as possible.
Well, speaking of being a snob, speaking about Criterion snobs, and also speaking about geeking out, Russ, it is time to talk about Criterion's January releases. One release in particular, one that as soon as I saw it, I texted you immediately, and there's no pre-order yet, but
Is it the
will
Western
be.
with Mary J. Blige?
It is not the Western with Mary J. Blige. It it is Train Spotting in 4K, coming out January 30th. Now, let me get my Train Spotting. Where'd it go?
Let me get my drugs.
Let's get ready. I'm cooking up.
Sorry, baby Dawn.
Hold on, Russ. I want you to see. The people can see. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. So, I am beyond over the moon that this got announced. Criterion pretty much just made my dreams come true. I don't know if there's any Trainspotting fans out there. We're going to talk about just this release and maybe the movie for a little bit, but this will absolutely get a review to just talk about the release itself, to talk about my undying love for this film and Russ's as well. We'll touch on it a little bit, and I'm sure maybe there'll be some people out there that also love this film. I'd love to hear some people from the UK, what your opinions are about this movie and its impact over there. It had a huge impact on me. It's in my top 5 of all time. It's probably number 2, right behind Pulp Fiction. If you watch this channel for a long time, Matt Mead, if you're out there, Pulp Fiction is my favorite movie. This is definitely right below it. So I could not be more excited. Now, they put this Criterion, put Trainspotting out on Laserdisc prior. It's right behind me.
And someone left a comment on one of our videos recently asking what that was. I think they were dropping a hint on us.
Yeah, it's right behind me. I can't reach it, but it's back there. You can see it pretty well. It's a pretty cool cover. It's not the same cover that you're getting for this release here, but just taking a look at what they've got here before we dive into the movie a little bit, I think Criterion, again, is knocking it out of the park for us, or me. And
I love this movie as much as you do, Matt.
Boom.
And it's interesting because we didn't know each other, but we had a very similar, we had a love triangle with this film.
Can we get
and novel.
And novel too. I want to talk about that too. Can we get some thumbs up in the chat for people who love Trainspotting? Can we get some hearts? Can we get some hypodermic needles? I don't know what the emojis are that you've got. Whatever the emojis are that you can use.
I think the dead baby emoji is pretty popular nowadays.
Is that on there?
Javier said best soundtrack ever.
Oh, I can't. We're going to talk about that, Javier. It's coming, baby.
Cover art is awesome.
Yeah, it's coming for sure. Javier, you got it right. The soundtrack is awesome. So this is coming with a new 4K restoration, Dolby Vision HDR, supervised by director Danny Boyle. You're getting a 2.0 surround master audio and an alternate 5.1 surround audio. And I want to talk about the audio in a little bit more detail in a second. But there's also an audio commentary with Boyle, the producer, John Hodges, the screenwriter, and McGregor. Or I'm sorry, the producer was, the screenwriter was John Hodge, producer Andrew McDonald, and McGregor's on there. 9 deleted scenes with commentary, a making of Trainspotting documentary, which contains interviews and behind the scenes, a 2008 documentary, Remembering Trainspotting, with McGregor, Kelly MacDonald, Ewan Bremner, Robert Carlyle. And then you've got reflections from the soundtrack with Iggy Pop, Damon Albarn, Underworld, Left Field, and probably, hopefully, a lot more than that as well. And then you're also going to get a glossary of terms and a glow-in-the-dark digipack, which sounds really wild to me. I can't wait to see what that means. They don't really...
How often does Criterion do something like that?
I don't know, and I'm interested. I'm trying to think of what the significance of that is, like glow in the dark for this movie. But they only really show you like the flat image, like there's no box shots or anything. I'm thinking digipack, like maybe like Do the Right Thing or something, like maybe like a thick guy like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah, and you've got it's not the original poster, but it's actually a poster I had as a kid with all the character. It's like a landscape poster with all the characters lined up. They all have their numbers and their names. There's these like arrows behind them. And I will say on this cover art, they're making different poses than they were on the poster that I had. But then you got Trainspotting. I think the art looks pretty cool. I'm interested to see this glow in the dark thing. But new to this release are the documentaries and the soundtrack retrospective. The Laserdisc.
The soundtrack retrospective is pretty cool. I wasn't aware that was going on this.
Yep, and documentaries. And that wasn't on the Laserdisc either. Although the Laserdisc had an interview with Irvin Welsh, which does not appear to be listed here. It does say "and more," so I don't know if that's going to be something more that we'll end up getting. So not really sure where to begin, but let me talk about the release first, and then where I'm excited about, and then maybe we can talk about the movie and gush a little bit.
Sure.
So I'm obviously excited for the restoration to see what that looks like. All the features sound fantastic. I've never seen any of these documentaries if they existed prior, if this was a Criterion exclusive thing. I'd love to see anything to do with, like an extensive look at the making of. I think that would be really cool to watch, especially the soundtrack retrospective. So Javier, you shouted out that soundtrack. I don't know how many other people like the soundtrack too. It's one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, and I think they were really wise to include something like that on here. I think they know what's going on with their soundtrack.
And it was a much bigger soundtrack in the UK and in Europe, from what I understand, than it was here. I think over here, it was more of a niche thing where people like you and I loved it.
Yeah.
But, I had plenty of friends at the time, and we were 14 when this hit.
Yeah.
Nobody had the soundtrack besides me. Like, nobody, and you, but I didn't know you yet. But, like, not many people I knew were aware of it.
I listened to this soundtrack on like repeat at times, and I could say the same thing for Pulp Fiction too. Like there was just that like marriage of music and film that just was such a connection that you could listen to the soundtrack and just take yourself right to those scenes in that
And
movie.
the novel references a lot of music.
True.
I mean, some music that's not in the movie, some of it is, you
Yep.
know. Like I know there's that one. Don't they have an entire chapter? It's been a while since I read it. That's the Smiths. There is a light that never goes out.
I think
They at least reference it in there.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
they do that.
Yeah. Did you get the number 2 Green soundtrack?
Yes.
Yeah,
I didn't listen to that one as heavy though, but I was excited when it came out because it had the song from the movie when he's withdrawing. And that was the one when I had the original soundtrack as a kid. I was like, damn, I love that one. I didn't even know it was Underworld.
Yes.
I was just like, I want that one song that wasn't on it. God damn it.
That always boggled my mind as a kid. That happened a couple of times. You would get a soundtrack and a certain song or two that you remember just weren't there. And it was like, God, you couldn't get the rights to the movie. Like,
Well,
how
you
did the
talk
song
about-
go into the movie, but
Well,
you
you-
can't get it onto the soundtrack?
Before we started, you brought up, we were discussing Natural Born Killers and that soundtrack. Bomb Track and Take the Power Back are not on that soundtrack.
That's funny. That is so funny.
They're not.
Well, there was a lot of hits from the movie that weren't there that like, you're right. Like there was music inspired by on the second one, as well as tracks that didn't make
Like,
the first one, which I
well,
was
it's-
so happy when they put it out.
Well, what's interesting too is even on the Inspired By, didn't they have Iggy Pop's "The Passenger" on
They
it?
did.
I don't recall that in the movie at all.
It was there when they're
When
like
did they play
breaking
that in the
like
movie?
there's the scene where they're like breaking like Renton's like breaking in a car, he steals a radio out, they like walk into like an old age home and like take medicine or like a prescription book out of like
I thought that's nightclubbing.
oh you're right that is nightclubbing.
Yeah, I know this movie, motherfucker.
Shut this live
That's
stream down.
nightclubbing.
I've been schooled on my
the
own movie.
Patreon or the Patreon references today.
Yeah.
The Passenger is that. I don't remember that in Trainspotting
It wasn't.
at all.
It was inspired by it.
And inspired by too, because one thing I love about the movie and the book too is that it is clearly riffing on the spirit of it is the Iggy Pop album Lust for Life,
Oh, yeah.
which Passenger's on that as well.
Gotcha.
But even if you've never heard that album, I'm talking to you because I know you love this shit.
Yeah.
The whole album has that tone of Lust for Life.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's songs on it, like "Here Comes Success." It's like real sarcastic, but like amped, like Lust
Yeah.
for Life.
Mhm.
It's that spirit of Trainspotting. So
Yeah.
you should check that record out. If you,
Maybe I will. I've never checked
and
out
both
any.
those songs, Lust for Life and The Passenger are on that.
I love all those songs. I've never checked out an Iggy Pop album before, but yeah, no, that's really cool. I think the one thing that I want to mention about the audio really quick, and for anyone that's out there, let me know if you feel the same way. All the people that are still watching in the UK, if you're still there, I appreciate it. I know it's late. Let me know if this sounds familiar to you as well. I owned this movie on VHS. That's how I watched it for the first time. Rented it at Blockbuster, rest in peace. And then watched this, bought it on VHS, watched it repeatedly, knew every scene, knew every line. I could recite this movie word for word. My family, or my grandparents, they're originally from Scotland. A lot of my family is from there as well. I've been around those types of people for a long time, different, gatherings, going there, visiting. So like that language was very familiar with me, the slang, the way that it sounds and rolls off the tongue. So it was almost natural for me too to kind of like ingest all of this dialogue and just be able to like recite it and remember it so damn well. Then I got the DVD, and as soon as I put it on to watch, immediately things started like not sounding right. It was weird. It was like scenes that I thought like a certain inflection was on a certain word. It was like, that sounded weird. Like I don't remember him saying it like that or something along those lines. And it turns out that they had like almost redubbed or retaken a couple of the scenes to make it easier to understand for American audiences, because there are solid chunks where if you have no experience with, like England, Scotland, anything at all, not only are they speaking in nothing but slang words like Russ, nothing
I'll
but
tell you my experience.
yeah,
with it.
right. And I hope you will, but like nothing but slang and all this stuff, it's like impossible probably to understand at first glance, which is why they give you that glossary, which I think is really cool. But
Well, that glossary's in the book also.
it is. It
thank
is in the
God.
book. But that's the thing that was so jarring for me, that I was like, this isn't what I remember. Like this isn't the way I remember it sounding. And what I'm hoping for here on this Criterion, and I don't know if this is what this is referring to or not, maybe it's just wishful thinking. They say here 2.0 master audio soundtrack and then an alternate 5.1 soundtrack. I don't know if it's a 2.0 and a 5.1, or it's literally two different tracks with the original audio and then maybe the Americanized one. That's all I've ever wanted back, and I've never even bought the Blu-ray as a result.
I bought the Blu-ray and I wasn't aware of that.
Yep. It's just, I feel like it's something that probably only I noticed because as a kid, you watch these movies thousands of times. So like as soon as something small is off, you just know it. And I knew it right away. Does that sound familiar to anyone else? Can I get a yay, nay, not sure? I mean, here's my Miramax collector's edition, by the way.
People want to know about the laser disc behind you.
Oh, they want to know about that laser disc. All right, not this, right? Let's get this the hell away. Like, who cares about this DVD? Let me go grab it.
Yeah, while you're grabbing that, though, I'll say my experience with Train Spotting, I was 14, similar, saw it on VHS. I had the book because I wanted to read the book. I already knew I wanted to see the movie. And when I watched it for the first time, I was like, it blew me away. But I thought to myself, I think I understood 50% of the dialogue.
Yeah.
And I immediately rewatched it on the same night. Still blew me away. And then I felt, that was rad. Now I understand 75% of the dialogue.
Yeah.
And I watched it the next day. And then it all started to click. Then I kept reading the book. And after referring to the glossary so many times, it started to become second nature to be like, oh, when it says I-K-E-N, that means I know. And stuff like that. And then it helped with the movie as well from reading the book. Clockwork Orange I had a similar experience with that because Clockwork Orange had a lot of made up slang in it as well. And it had the glossary in the back.
Yeah.
So when I read that as a kid, it was just, oh shit. And then that helped me watch the movie and understand it a little more as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely an experience, even for me when I watched it the first time, like with you, like even with that background, it's like they're talking so quick. The slang is so rich. It's like, it's hard to know, like, what does that word mean? Because someone will use that word, like, and that word will be used throughout the whole movie. And once you know what that word means, it's like, oh, unlocked. Now I get that they're saying this, whatever thing.
Like once I learned it, I walked around and called everybody a DOS cunt for weeks.
I know, it's the best. This is the Laserdisc. Russ, this is your Laserdisc.
It is.
It is. It's awesome. Criterion Collection Laserdisc. The back looks cool. I mean, does anyone out there own a Laserdisc player? I've only had experience with Laserdisc 1.
Actually, is a laser disc?
Yeah,
That we're joking.
No, it's a Laserdisc. This isn't an album.
I thought it was a vinyl.
No, it's not.
No.
No, we were talking about the soundtrack at great length, but this is actually the Laserdisc of Train Spotting from Criterion. I've only ever watched one Laserdisc in my life, and it was Bram Stoker's Dracula. My parents took me somewhere to hang out with some friends or whatever, and they went and did something else and stuck me in a room, and they were like, "You're gonna watch this," and put this Laserdisc on of Bram Stoker's Dracula. I couldn't have been older than 8 years old. 9 years old.
Keanu Reeves wouldn't perform and scared you for life.
When did Dracula come out?
91.
Yeah, so that I was literally maybe a year older than that. So wow, here it is. Which way do you touch this thing? I don't want to. Oh, it's a disc on both sides.
I don't know. I think you flip it over, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to put my fingers on it. How do you hold it
That
so
thing
people
was
can see it?
certified diamond.
All right, let me just hold it up like this. So here it is in the sleeve. It's a giant disc for all you Laserdisc player owners, non-owners who didn't know what a Laserdisc was. Here it is. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's still in great shape. Looks good, Russ.
Is Goodwill still going strong now that Best Buy's out?
We're gonna start going to the library for our reviews. Do they still have Laserdiscs?
Let us know. Let us know in your local libraries in Connecticut if they carry Laserdiscs.
Does your library carry Laserdiscs? I'm gonna get that new Train Spotting microfiche. All right, let's see. Let me put this Laserdisc back in here.
Scott Miosi. I hope I'm saying that right.
Scott Miosi.
I watched Train Spotting and Kids on the same day back in '96. Nothing's ever been the same since.
Wow, Train Spotting and Kids, first time watching the same day. Holy crap. Put this back. See if I can make it happen.
And
Trying
Benjamin
to think.
Strausser has a Laserdisc player for you guys.
Hey, Benjamin has a Laserdisc player for us.
Benjamin Strausser has a Laserdisc. How many Laserdiscs do you own, Benjamin? Let us know.
Everyone else is jealous of the Laserdisc player.
About to say, isn't that one of the only? Wasn't the original trilogy Star Wars despecialized? Wasn't that on Laserdisc?
Benjamin has Total Recall, Tremors, and Reanimator on Laserdisc.
Wow.
Reanimator.
Okay, so the person who owns the player that we're all currently jealous of has Total Recall, Tremors, and Reanimator.
Reanimator Laserdisc. That's fly. I like that.
That is cool. And Laserdisc typically, and a lot of times I've seen this, they usually hold on to features. Like I've seen times, I think it was, what was it, Platoon, when that came out on 4K, there's some like amazing documentary on their Laserdisc that never made it anywhere else. So it's interesting how some of that stuff doesn't make it over. But Benjamin, with the Laserdisc player, we're jealous. So let's talk about the movie just for a second. I just want to gush just for a little bit as well. I know you said some great things about the soundtrack. The soundtrack's awesome. I feel like this movie, for me, it means so much because kind of like Pulp Fiction, and probably to whoever watched Trainspotting and Kids in the same day and Life Was Never the Same, kind of the same way for me. I almost feel like I watched Trainspotting like very soon after I watched Pulp Fiction, where I was still very raw from that experience as a kid. Like, and now I was like, all my feelers were out, and I was like, okay, what's this Trainspotting stuff all about? And it like literally scratched almost the same itch. I was like, wow, how lucky did I just get? Like, I want to keep on watching movies like this, whether it was because it was, you know, grimy. It had a little bit of a pseudo nonlinear nature to it too. It had that soundtrack marriage. Not that the story was nonlinear, but they jump around a lot. It's like, you know, they throw you a scene over here, then they remember back in this time, they do that, and they reference stories.
One dog's looking this way, one dog's looking that way, and you get this guy out here. What do you want from me?
Exactly. But I think it was just, again, like a movie and an experience that I just had never, I don't know, experienced before, and I'm really happy to see that it's coming out in such a definitive way. And I cannot wait to pick this up, and I cannot wait to really thoroughly dive in and give my true thoughts about this movie.
It's a shot of adrenaline.
It really is.
It's just pure energy from beginning to end. It doesn't have a conscience.
It's got hope and hopelessness simultaneously.
Yeah. And I, to this day, I think it's a ballsy novel and movie, because can you name me another film that depicts drug use in a way that is not giving you gloom and doom? Yes, there's one scene of withdrawal, but this isn't an anti-drug movie. This is just like the novel. It's a celebration of scumbaggery, basically, and being a piece of shit. And what amazes me is the film captured that. Like, if you read that, anyone who's watched, if you've read that novel, to me, it seems unfilmable. I don't even know how you could make a movie out of that. And that's what impresses me so much with this movie, is like, not only did they streamline it, make it one narrative, because the novel isn't all Renton.
It's all point of view chapters.
Every chapter is a different point of view. And they managed to take things from each chapter and, as I said, streamline it into one narrative through Renton, but maintaining that anarchy, that chaotic feel, that energy, that dark humor, that all of it. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
What the screenplay, obviously Danny Boyle. I mean, it's phenomenal how they did that.
Yeah, I concur. I was going to say the exact same thing. I read the book after.
Immediately
Yeah,
after.
I just wanted more. I was like, soundtrack, buy it, book,
Yeah,
buy it. Like, I
same.
need everything that's poster on the wall already. I needed it then. And when I read that book, I was, again, so enthralled and entranced by. And like you said, it's all these characters, you get to be in their head.
There's more characters.
There are characters they don't share, but it's interesting to be in Begbie's head for like a minute. Like, you get to see him on screen, and you get to see he's like a maniac and he's like awesome, but you don't really get to hear what he's thinking about or why he's doing what he's doing. Same thing with Sick Boy. He's a very conniving, scheming kind of character. And just like with the follow-up book that is after this, Porno, he's in it. He's still this very conniving, scheming kind of person who comes across really well in the movie. But to hear their thoughts and why and why they feel like they're going to do this, and like you said, the scumbaggery, here's my plan of how I'm going to be that scumbag, is really kind of, it really draws you in a very different way. Yes. And I couldn't agree more. And I was done reading. I was like, wow, they really made a movie out of that son of a bitch. Like, that thing was intense.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I swear by it. That book does not seem like it could be filmed at all and capture what it is. And wow, what an adaptation.
Anyone read the book out there?
Yeah. Let us know. The chemistry, the casting's off the fucking charts in this film too. I mean, oh my God, everyone's perfect in this. To an American watching this, who literally nobody I knew prior to this, Robert Carlyle, as you said,
love him. Love him. Yeah,
out of this world.
Yeah, it's so good.
This was my introduction to Ewan McGregor, and I'm still a fan. He's incredible.
And he's still doing great work. I'm happy that him and Danny Boyle are still doing stuff. But Ewan McGregor has had a long ass career. He's still out there doing good stuff and some of his own whatever he wants to do. But he's still doing good work.
Johnny Lee Miller went on to do Angelina Jolie. There was a lot of success in this movie.
A lot of success. And Kelly MacDonald, she's in a trailer for something new, and she still looks. I mean, I always see her as Diane. Every time I see her in anything, I'm like, Diane. It's just you just can't see her as anything else. But yeah, and the book too, just like the movie, is the way it's written is so casual. It's not like a novel. It's such a casual read because it's just dialogue and everyone's speaking in, again, this same slang that they have the glossary in the back or to let you read what these definitions of these slang words are so that you can kind of get into the world a little bit. And it really is just such a fun read.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the movie. It's like you said, it's adrenaline.
It's frustrating at first, but once you wrap your head, once you get a handle on the language, I read it more than once. I used to carry it around in my book bag in high school, and just like on downtime, I'd read a chapter here and there.
As you're reading the slang, you can almost hear the characters saying the words, and that's where it like kind of solidifies.
I don't think that blew me. I had already had that experience with Clockwork Orange the year before when I was 13, and so Trainspotting was my second. Jesus Christ, I have to become bilingual just to enjoy this shit.
Yeah,
you know? But well worth it.
Well worth it. So Trainspotting 4K, January 30th. Also in November, you've got the Criterion sale coming up.
Trainspotting is a 4K is a Criterion release that I will not wait for a sale on.
I will not. No.
I will pre-order.
I was about to say,
I'm gonna scoop that up immediately.
We're gonna do coverage on the Criterion sale in November. We'll probably have our Criterion collection video go up around that same time too. I have a lot of half off Criterions I'm going to be buying in November for sure, but this will be like give it to me day one. If you purchase direct from Criterion, do you get early?
I never do, so I don't know.
Me neither.
I am so lax with buying Criterions because I always just wait for the sales, and then because the packaging is never limited, I never feel like I need to jump in and buy them and pre-order. I just wait for the sales, or for like Christmas, I'll give my family. It's funny, they probably think I'm the biggest Criterion fan in the world. I don't want to give them titles like, if I give them a boutique label title, I'm always afraid they're going to order the standard edition, or something. And I don't want to sit there and be a dick. I'm like, okay, what I want for Christmas is Reanimator, the Aero Special Deluxe Collector's Edition with box and 3 magnets. It's
here's the link.
I just want to say, hey, I want Reanimator. So with Criterion, it's easy. I'll be like, hey, pick me up Blood Simple, and it's like, I know you're not going to fuck this up because there's only one. Yeah. So I don't know about the if you order.
Does anyone out there know? Can someone set us straight? I know that there's a physical media genius out there. If you buy direct from Criterion, do you get it 2 weeks early like you sometimes do with these other boutiques? Does anyone know that? We'll wait.
Yeah, we got to edit in. When I was in 9th grade, we had a drawing class in high school, and we had to draw. So I remember I carried that book around with me. I ended up drawing Diane.
Oh yeah,
it's actually pretty decent too, dude. We got to throw that up in this video.
All right.
Like the cover of the movie, her on it.
Because
my book cover it was the poster art.
Oh, the poster art too. Yeah.
And I picked it up in Connecticut.
And you picked it up in Connecticut? Criterion's putting out a ton of other stuff. The only thing that I wanted to hover on just for a moment is Blood Simple.
Starring the deer.
Coming out January 9th. On 4K Ultra HD, previously released on Criterion and Blu-ray too. You have this, don't you?
I do have
on
Blu-ray. Criterion on Blu-ray.
Now,
yes.
I had this with the Cohen box set.
Showing off. Look at that beauty.
Yeah, look at this beaut. So I had the Cohen brothers box set, and there was just a bunch of loose Blu-rays in a wraparound, and Blood Simple's in there, and that's when I watched it. And this is just looking at what it is. It's kind of like a small, quiet release from Criterion. Nothing too crazy. They've got a couple of conversations with the Coen brothers, interviews with the editor, Frances McDormand, and M. Emmett Walsh are on here doing an interview as well.
They didn't get to interview the deer?
No deer. I saw this one time. What about you?
I've never finished it.
Never finished
I've seen half of it. M. Emmett Walsh is badass in this movie.
He is good in this. Yeah. I
need to finish it.
I know.
That's so embarrassing. But to the one person who left a comment, that's how authentic and real we are. I'm not going to sit here and lie and be like, fucking Blood Simple. It's a classic. Like, nah, I've seen half of it,
I watched the whole thing.
and I loved what I saw.
I did too. I wasn't underwhelmed, but it was definitely like, okay, this is their first effort, like their first real effort. And I could tell like it's a little raw and they still haven't, they're not the Coens that you know yet. So it's still, but their elements are there. I don't remember how blown away I was by it, and I don't know if I would pick this up in this manner. I don't know if anyone else out there is a big Blood Simple fan within the Coens like filmography. Let us know that too. I'm still waiting on the Criterion answer for anyone that's still out there.
I'm still waiting for Criterion to put out Intolerable Cruelty.
Is that your favorite Coen brother?
That's everybody's favorite Coen Brothers movie, man. That and the one with Tom Hanks and Marlon Wayans.
Any other titles you're going to be pre-ordering this for January from Criterion, Russ? What about the Chantal Ackerman masterpieces, 1968 to 1979?
I'm kind of beyond that,
What
it's
about
a little juvenile?
What about the Pooh trilogy?
Didn't we cancel that?
Who?
No, in The Simpsons, didn't we get rid of
No,
it?
we did. I was just doing Carlito.
Good. I was about to say, I know what you were doing.
You knew what I was doing. Well, that's all there we got for Criterion. I don't really want to talk about anything else. I just wanted to really spend my time on Train Spotting. Let us know out there if you're picking up Train Spotting. Let us know again, how early does Criterion ship if you buy direct from them? I usually just wait for Amazon since Barnes & Noble has like shit the bed and I can't buy anything in person anymore. But Train Spotting will probably be in the Barnes & Noble section, I'm sure. Not in the sale time, but. There was. So AA, shout out. There was a Criterion flash sale. The reason, and I almost went in and got all my saved Criterions today because of that, but there's actually one that isn't out yet. The others. I'm waiting for the others to come out, which comes out in November. So I'm just going to hit them all at the same time and wait.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that's what I'm
AA.
gonna do.
Did anybody else hit that flash sale up? What were some of the titles that you guys got? They were on their Instagram. They were showing all the classics that they have. They have so many good ones. It's just nowadays, though, dude, it's like when I see these flash sales and it's like, oh, a movie I'd really love to buy from them, but it's just Blu-ray only. I'm just like, ugh.
I know. I looked
Like,
into the
I don't know, especially if it's a big title.
Shocktober sale, and it was similar. You know what I did end up picking up though? You know what I ended up picking up for the Shocktober sale?
What?
Because the Best Buy thing had me, shaking in my boots. I saw they did have the 4K of the original Halloween. I never picked that up.
Oh, you got it.
I was studying the pictures on the site. It still had this. Didn't
The
it
hard
have-
slip.
Yes. And the picture had that hard slip. Other special editions that they were advertising did not have. So I'm hoping their photography is current.
Still current.
But yeah, it ended up
Okay.
being like $17 on that sale. And
Wow.
hell yeah, because I've been waiting. Actually, I don't know why I've been waiting on Halloween. I don't need all that whole series in 4K. I should have picked that up from the start.
I don't know what
I
you're
was
waiting
slacking.
on. You are slacking.
Maybe it was
Russ.
the artwork. I'm not crazy about that artwork.
You do the original art on the inside.
Good. And then for $17, 4K. I mean, come on, it's Halloween.
Halloween, baby. This is Criterion we're talking about. But thanks for derailing the whole show.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do to spread the word about the Shocktober sale that is over.
And if you're just tuning in, maybe you are. Let us know if you are. If you just jumped in here and you don't know any idea what's going on, I'm Russ. This is Matt. And we're here in the 4K case at our 4,000 subscriber live stream. And if you're out there commenting, we really appreciate it. If you're still hanging in there, we really appreciate it. I know we've been going for a little while now. But actually, Russ, we're coming to the home stretch, believe it or not.
We are.
We are. We're going to be covering a ton of Steelbooks for another hour and a half.
Oh shit.
No.
Where's a
We're going to...
Wants to know when you're coming home, by the way.
Your son wants to know, Daddy, when will you be home? You won't be.
Hold on. Did Gavin really comment that?
He said,
Hi Gav.
when are you coming home?
When am I coming home? Wow.
This is the only way that you can see your dad now. He's never coming home. That Nightmare 5 clip has been stuck in my head that you gave me where he's like, we'll see, bitch.
I cut it short too.
Dude,
And I was torn.
I keep thinking about that
Well,
when
hold on.
anyone says anything.
I do it all the time.
We'll see, bitch.
I do it all the time. I say it to my wife, dude.
What?
As a joke. All the time. But he says it twice. I cut, and I was debating on whether to keep the whole thing. What he really goes is, we'll see, bitch. We'll see. Like that.
Yeah.
And I always get that in my head when someone says something. That's why I threw it in there.
Dude, it's stuck in my head.
But anyway,
Gavin?
back to me making
back to you being an absentee
good
father.
lifestyle. Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say choosing live streams over parenting.
Choose live streams.
Our kid's putting himself to bed.
Yeah, my son's putting himself to bed. That's what we're doing.
Choose life.
He's only 3, but he'll figure it out.
Choose live streams. Choose abandoning your child. Going, going with a guy named Matt talking about 4K releases.
Choose a YouTube channel.
Choose ignoring
That's
the
it.
comment when he tries to leave it on your live stream. I chose not to choose Parenthood.
I chose something else.
I chose to collect Blu-rays. And the reasons, there aren't any reasons. Who needs reasons when you've got the new James Cameron slate to look forward to?
Russ, you ready to talk about Steelbooks? Who out there is ready to talk about Steelbooks?
DOS cunts.
Who's ready to talk about DOS cunts?
Well, no one's going to leave here until we find out who or what Steelbook did it.
That's my favorite scene. That's my absolute favorite scene of all time from that movie. The Begbie pool hall tale. Oh my God. That's what I mean. That's one that's got redone. That one got dubbed over. Because just
Really?
like you,
I would have noticed that.
It-
I would have noticed that.
I'm not going to do it, but I could say that thing word for word. And when that came on, I was like, wait a minute. He doesn't say those words that way. Like, I just knew it. And that always pissed me off.
Why did they do that? As an American, trust me, we were confused even with the proper
I know,
dub you tried to.
I don't know.
give to us.
I want original or nothing at all. So let's move on to steals. It's what everyone loves. I hope everyone out there is into some steals. We're going to run through steals, Russ. Then we're going to wrap it up with Arrow. Just to kind of give a preview of the future here and people's future that might be still watching this.
What about a break?
There is no breaks.
Okay.
Are there breaks, Russ? How much of a break do you need? Who wants to give Russ a break? Should we give Russ a 5-minute break to smoke and I'll take some viewer questions?
Don't put my health.
Russ is a smoker. And if you say no to Russ having a cigarette, we'll keep going. Let my wife do a poll. Can we run a poll in the booth? We can't run a poll. We can't run a poll.
Ask my son.
Gavin,
Daddy go smoke.
can we run? Yeah, Gavin, should your son go increase the chances he could have cancer in 5 years?
Damn. He's
This
probably
YouTube
watching
channel
that.
is going to be canceled
Right.
because of your bad habits.
So far, we've got someone saying, yeah, you should take a 5. Just one person, though.
I like that person. Who said that?
Double A.
Double A says take a 5.
Double A. And hold on. The
Give me some topics and
Had a baby.
we'll be verklempt.
congratulations, Double A. Who was it Javier who brought up the Train Spotting soundtrack? Was it Javier who asked about Erykah Badu?
Javier,
Somebody asked they wanted to talk about Erykah Badu.
you wanted to
We
open
need
up a
to set
Discord.
up. I was about to say we need to set up a Discord. We can't just sit here and talk about Erykah Badu like two 41-year-old white men.
Let the man smoke.
Okay, go smoke, Russ. Hurry it up.
Our fans, I love you guys. They know what's up.
Russ will be quick. I'll just sit here and I'll entertain the audience, I guess. I'll be Matt and Russ.
Matt, somewhere, I forget who it was, somewhere way back, someone asked if we should buy
Days of Heaven from Criterion. Yeah, so, oh, here comes Russ back as soon as we said something. He's like, wait, I can't smoke yet.
Wait, Terrence Malick?
So, Days of Heaven was the question, did we get it or was it I should get it? I mean, you guys, I don't know. Russ, should they get Days of Heaven?
Going off Badlands, yes, they should.
Going off Badlands, yes, you should.
I still haven't seen Days of Heaven, but
All right. I haven't seen Days of Heaven either. I am a gear guy, though. I mentioned that.
he seemed to be in a lot of my Brad clips.
I'm a gear guy. I have not. I tried. I think we talked about this when those came out, or Days of Heaven was announced. The only Terrence Malick film I have attempted is Tree of Life, and I know that's probably like the wrong one to watch, but I was like intrigued by the movie itself. Watched it, turned it right the hell off. When we talked about that, a lot of people said Thin Red Line is something that I should watch. Russ and I should if we hadn't seen it, and that actually, based on a lot of the comments that people wrote about Thin Red Line, including Hans Zimmer, I believe, was the score, and a lot of the people that are in it, I am very intrigued in checking it out. So that is definitely something that I know a lot of people mentioned to see that I really do want to see. Russ has seen Badlands, which he loved, and he told me I should blind buy the day that I get it. He basically referred to it as kind of like true romance in a way. That sounds awesome to me as well, and I think what a lot of people know Malick for is his imagery and the cinematography that he chooses and just like the scenery and whatnot, and I don't know if that was something that was present in Badlands, but it definitely looks like that's the case in Days of Heaven. Tree of Life was just something else, but maybe the cinematography is just as good in Thin Red Line. I'm not sure. But I can't recommend because I haven't seen. Would someone recommend it to me? Would someone recommend it to each other? I don't know. Is Days of Heaven? Where should we start with Malik? Can I get a recommendation while I'm waiting for Russ?
Ringmaster said, I recommend The New World.
The New World.
The New World by Malik.
The New World. Is that one of the Jurassic Park sequels? Who said that? Ringmaster. The New World. Terrence Malick. 2005. Let me see if it doesn't even ring a bell. Who's in this? Colin Farrell? Oh, is this where he's Christopher Columbus? Is that what it is? I didn't even click. I just saw Colin Farrell and I got a flash of him being Christopher Columbus. Is that what it is? 2 hours and 52 minutes. Whoa, Terrence Malick. Hold on. Am I wrong in that? He's not Christopher Columbus. Is he?
Christian Bale is in New World.
A historical romantic. I'm not giving Wikipedia $3. As 2005 historical romantic drama depicting the founding of Jamestown, Virginia. Not even close. What am I thinking of? Gerard Depardieu? What was that called? 1492? Is it just because Columbus found the New World? Jamestown, Virginia settlement.
Pocahontas and John Smith.
Gotcha. Okay. So Colin Farrell's John Smith. Who plays Pocahontas in it? Q'orianka Kilcher. Wow. Christopher Plummer, Christian Bale, August Schellenberg, David Thewlis. Oh, I like David Thewlis. Interesting. So that was 2000 and what? 2005? 2005. I feel like I slept on that one too, you guys. I apologize for all the Terrence Malick fans.
Totally different side note, but when steels get shipped, do they tend to get damaged?
For who asked that question? Double A. I don't know if you watched our Steelbook collection video that just dropped today. We just put one up, and if you haven't, that's okay. I forgive you, but I will say a big focus of that video, which was actually a surprise to me, is how damaged all of my Steelbooks really are. Once in a while, I think it really just comes down to who's shipping them and how they're being shipped. My favorite thing for any company to do is when you have the steel and it's in a hard box, anything to protect. Anything that we can continue to protect. So if you have a Steelbook in a hard box, like one of those collector's editions, you can rest assured that it's probably going to come okay. Sometimes I would get a Best Buy package in the mail or even something from overseas in the mail where it's literally just a mailer and the Steelbook's in there. No bubble wrap, no nothing. It's just, you're just asking for problems. They feel great, they look great, but they are so easy to damage. It's just a shame. And I will tell you, which does not help anything, but when we were shooting that video, the Steelbook collection that Russ and I both put up, when I was doing a lot of the shots of my Steelbooks and the close-ups and things, I can't tell you how many times I knocked them over. And it killed me every single time. And if you watch that video, you'll notice I always shout out, like, here's a dent, there's a scratch. Unfortunately, I would say maybe, I don't want to say half, but a good portion, let's say maybe 25, maybe a little bit more, 25, 35-ish% of the Steelbooks I've ever gotten in the mail have come damaged or dinged in some way. It's always best to go there, but since Best Buy has basically given us all the middle finger, we're not really going to be able to go do that anymore. I don't know who else is going to have these exclusive steels or whatever to actually go in the store to buy. That would be the way to go. But you really just can't trust a lot of these companies anymore. So unfortunately, you're always rolling the dice. I'm sure a lot of them would give you money back or try to send you a new one, but in my case, it's always just a hassle. I'm just like, fine. It's just like, I won't see it that much. I know there's a lot of Steelbook collector, like I can't imagine completionists, but there's probably a lot of people that only collect Steelbooks or have massive Steelbook collections. I've seen plastic sleeves that you can put them in to protect them and all that kind of stuff, which, if you're really going that deep, then more power to you. But I'm just a casual collector to begin with, so all of this stuff is just going to be going on my shelf in alphabetical order, and it's going to be rubbing up against stuff, so I'm not really trying to protect them, so to speak, as well. But when it comes to just getting a product damaged right from the beginning, it does kind of suck, and it does happen often. Sorry if that's not what you wanted to hear. Have you bought any Steelbooks before? Have you had the same experience? Are you like on the fence about ever buying them because you hear such horror stories, which... I mean, it's like a love-hate relationship. I think I said that in the video. It's like, we love them, but it's like, damn, how can we just get one that's not messed up for once? I don't know.
Backtracking to Train Spotting, we've got a couple people that are excited to see it in 4K, especially the toilet scene.
Oh.
And baby.
So we're getting some comments that are saying we are so excited to see some of these classic, iconic train spotting scenes in 4K, such as the iconic toilet scene and the iconic baby death scene. Or are we talking about Baby Dawn when she's on the ceiling and she's crawling and her head twists around and like falls on you and just like haunts your dreams for years as a young 13-year-old? It was pretty upsetting, but damn, did it like hit me hard. And I feel like just like the person that said kids train spotting in the same day, your life was changed for good, as was mine. But yeah, I'm excited too. I feel like the restoration is going to be brilliant. I've only ever seen the DVD and VHS, so I'm like ready to be blown away. I'm ready to see kind of how gritty the film remains, because I feel like it's always been like a grimy looking film, and I'm really excited for that also, especially the toilet scene. And let me think, what are some other really great scenes in that movie that would be good to look at? I mean, there's some really good, just like when they're walking, when they get off the train, and that scene where they're walking up the hill and there's that iconic speech about it's shite being Scottish. I love that. Like all that is pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like in general, I think there's going to be a lot of, hopefully, restoration of just the vibe. Like I want to make sure the vibe remains the same, and Criterion continues to like impress with a lot of that. So hopefully train spotting will be the same. I think I hear Russ coming back in from his cigarette. Take me out of the hot seat. This is now a PSA to quit smoking. Russ, get on the patch or go cold turkey. What's it going to be? Russ, have you seen the movie The New World by Terrence Malick? That was recommended by the people.
I'd like to.
Russ would like to. Do you know what it's about?
A New World?
Yeah. You guess what it's about, and then I'll tell you what I thought it was about.
I know it's a...
What do you know?
Excuse me. No, I know it's a period piece with Christian Bale. Isn't Colin Farrell in it?
He's the main star, and he plays... It's a historical drama. It's based on real people. I said...
Genghis Khan?
I said Christopher Columbus.
That's Gerard Depardieu,
I know,
right?
that's what I said. 1492, wasn't that what it's called?
Yeah, that was a Ridley Scott joint as well, I believe.
No, dude, he plays like, was it John Smith who like
Oh,
falls
yeah,
in love
yeah,
with
yeah,
Pocahontas?
Yeah, it's based on Fern Gully.
Dude, I said Christopher Columbus. So anyway,
hold on.
Russ, welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to 4K Kings live stream.
I was watching it out back.
Were you watching it?
I commented.
Oh, cool.
I told you, yeah, your backyard looks incredible.
Did you take a look at the Halloween decorations?
That's the front yard.
I'm saying, did you look out front? Did you look at the Halloween?
Nah, I didn't mosey too far. I
Anyone-
just stayed in the backyard.
Anyone celebrating Halloween out there? We've got some good decorations going on. So, huh? Yeah, we got some movie.
You have a little shop. You have an Audrey 2 out there.
I do.
believe.
I'll take a picture when this segment goes up. I'll make sure to throw it up so people can see it. But I've got a. What'd you say? No, I'm gonna do that. My wife's like, no, they're gonna don't dox us. don't tell people where we live. No, I've got an Audrey 2 blow up in the yard, and I've got a sandworm from Beetlejuice in the yard blown up, and some
That's
other cool
right.
stuff. Yeah, it's awesome. But welcome back, Russ. And
Thanks
thank
for
you.
having me, Matt.
Thank you to everybody for still hanging in there. As I mentioned, we're in the home stretch. We're going to be covering some Steelbooks first up. Then we're going to close out with Arrow. We got some good titles from Arrow. We got The Warriors coming from Arrow. We got Child's Play coming from Arrow.
Might have to take a slight break before we do Arrow. Matt.
Well, I think in Arrow, you had an unboxing that you wanted to share. We're not going to say what it is.
Yes.
You were going to
yes.
unbox something from Arrow. That's going to be one of the grand finales. Russ is going to unbox an Arrow release that he recently got. We're going to give him a moment to get that when it's time. But let's dive into Steel.
Let's dive into Steel. That sounds painful.
Real Steel, baby. Real Steel. All right, Russ, let's see. So, first of all, let's get a thumbs up out there if you like Steelbooks, even though we just talked for 10 minutes about how they always arrive damaged.
I have the best luck with Steelbooks. I don't know what it is.
Someone asked, how often do they arrive damaged? And I went off on like a monologue.
I maybe have like one or two that might have arrived with just the slight ding to where I'd have to point it out for you to notice. Like I've always had good, even on the like the scalper market. I know I picked up the 4K of Roger Rabbit on eBay,
Yeah.
and even that,
Came well.
yeah, like I don't know what it is.
Maybe the eBay person was a collector like us and knew the
9
deal.
times out of 10 they are.
They knew the
Honestly,
deal.
like they know how anal people like us are. I when I order from someone direct who's a collector, holy shit, dude, there is newspaper, bubble wrap.
Yeah,
like
they know what's
to
up.
the nines. Like the package weighs about 400 pounds. It's incredible.
Well, time to talk about Steelbooks, and rest in peace Best Buy, because a lot of these are Best Buy exclusives that you can hopefully still get, maybe not.
Right.
You ready to mount up?
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. No.
Was it Dark Knight or Black Knight?
What did I say?
Black
it was
Knight.
A clear
Is it
black-
clear
it
Dark
was a
Knight or clear
dark
Night? Black Knight.
No, it was a clear dark night. Oh yeah, so Bad Doism. Somebody commented about that. I loved that record. I owned it in '98. I think it came out in '97. Like most people, I heard On and fell in love with it. But that album kicked my ass. So when I was wearing that Mama's Gun shirt, I picked up Mama's Gun day one, and to this day, I'd say that's at least a top 20 record of any genre.
So Steelbooks.
Yes.
Was that Bad Doism? Did that come in a nice steel from Best Buy?
I just had to save myself from completely butchering Warren G.
Did you butcher it? I feel like you just butchered. You butchered, Russ. I'm gonna leave that in. That's not getting cut. So let's. It was a clear black night. It was a clear dark night. A clear white moon.
Clear dark night. I don't even
Warren G was on the street.
I'm questioning the whole damn song.
All right, I'm going to
now.
look up the lyrics, and then we're going to move on to Steelbooks. Because people are like, what are these two idiots doing? What did I tune into?
I don't know.
Regulators.
Our asses are some busters.
Regulator.
213 needs to regulate on our asses.
Is anyone going to correct me before I look it up?
We have a nice commenter from Ireland saying that they're loving the humor and the great editing, and they love that you guys are self-deprecating and informative.
That sums up my whole life. Self-deprecation. Russ tells me all the time to stop it. Like all the stuff that gets edited out that you guys don't see. Russ will be sitting there looking at me like, dude, you got to stop with all the self-deprecation stuff. Like, you don't have to say it like that. I'm like, dude, that's just me. I can't
There was
help
one
it.
time. There was one time. Oh, we should air out our grievances on this live
Let's
stream.
fight.
There has been, hey, let's do it. There has only been 3 times. For those who are watching, Matt does the bulk of the editing, and I provide the clips. So if it cuts to something, where the movie's reacting to us, that's what I provide. But has there been any time you've been angry at me behind the scenes, or like you had to approach me about something you disagreed with?
No.
I can only recall.
Because I just edited it out.
That's true. That's true.
Anything
dude.
I don't like, I'm like, nah.
That's true. I have no say.
No, Russ, you don't get an opinion on this. Map cut.
Damn, that's true. No, what was it? There was one time. It was the piano music.
Yeah. You did. You told me.
All I
yes.
said was, and
Yes.
it was during our great Jerry Goldsmith Bill Conti debate,
Yes.
which you edited out all of my Bill Conti points. But then when you were, you made me look like I knew nothing about film scores. You just blew Jerry Goldsmith for 5 minutes straight.
He
But
deserves
then-
it.
No, but then you were telling a story about how every time you watch Rudy, you can't help but cry when that music like swells up. And when I watched the video, you
Yes.
put the sad piano music.
I did put
And what
sad
I
piano
told
music.
you was, I said, dude, that felt like a genuine like movie moment. I want to hear from you, and you turned it into a joke. And I was like, I'm sitting here sharing, hey, here's Nicole Kidman on my ceiling when I'm fucking 14, and
Sharing personal health updates.
yeah, for real. And it's like, dude, you're turning that's a beautiful, you love Jerry Goldsmith.
Thank you, Russ. I appreciate that. And
To me,
I
I won the debate because you had to add, you should have added a Jerry Goldsmith score to that bullshit.
did.
Oh, it was?
Oh, do you mean the underlying piano?
Yeah,
that wasn't
yeah,
him.
yeah,
no,
yeah,
Oh,
exactly,
okay,
because
okay.
he's not good enough. But
You're right, Russ. And I took your
That's
feedback
it.
into consideration. The next time I
and
have
I
a really
think the
heartfelt.
audience wants to know. I think they want to know you, Matt.
Does the audience want to know me? Do they want to know when I cry because I shared it and then self-deprecated myself right out of it?
No, but that was the thing with that, was that I know you, so I know it was real and self-deprecation, but it was more along the lines of, if I didn't know you and I was watching this, I couldn't tell if that was a real thing you were telling me or a joke.
Okay. Well, it was real, but I wanted to make it funny.
Cry.
I only have one last thing to say to you, Russ, and it's
Was I right?
clear black night.
I was right?
You're right.
Fuck yeah, dude. You're going to get me on West Coast.
You ain't gonna get me on no West Coast.
No.
All right, well, regulators.
I flew to LA 2 years ago to see Warren G live.
How was that?
Dude, it was incredible. It wasn't just Warren G.
Of
but,
course.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Any other questions from the audience before we jump into Steelbooks? People are probably like, get to it already. You said Steelbooks 30 minutes ago.
Tidbit Kid does want to know what some of your holy grails are that you have in
Wow. Holy Grails in our collection? Holy Grails in the collection, or that we're hoping for
Yeah.
in the collection? Holy Grail.
Once I
mean,
get
see,
them, I kind of don't refer to them as Holy Grails
I know.
anymore.
I feel like nothing I own is like that rare. I don't know. I feel like it's like, oh wow,
Oh, it's
you know what I mean?
in
Like
that?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know. Is that what you mean by Holy Grail? Like I'm so glad it finally came to 4K. Now I own that, like that kind of thing. I could say that about Pulp Fiction, but it's just a regular release, so it's not really like I don't know.
Tidbit Kid said that theirs was Iron Man Future Shop exclusive steelbook.
So
That helped.
so Tidbit Kid wants to know what our Holy Grail releases are. It's kind of a tough question. I feel like I just don't
Yeah.
know. Do you have any that you have that like are no longer available? I'm trying to think of ones like that.
Well, I told you, and actually, hey, we have an audience right now. Let me know. I heard this, and I've never. I'm not sure if it was a rumor, but when Scream Factory initially released the collector's edition of They Live on Blu-ray, I read somewhere that the first batch or so had a white circle sticker on the slipcover that says "Obey." And that was only for maybe one batch, and then they stopped.
Oh,
All the
yeah.
rest of them didn't have that. If that is true, I do have the one that has the Obey sticker on it
Yeah.
because I bought that. It was funny. I wasn't even very familiar with Scream Factory yet. It was more of just, oh shit, They Live, a collector's edition. Nice. And I had that pre-ordered immediately.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first Scream Factory experiences I might have had.
I feel like
But if that story is true, that Obey sticker is rare,
yeah.
then yes, that would be my holy grail.
Yeah, I feel
If it's not true, then I have to think more on it. I gotta
Yeah.
get back to you.
I know. I feel like there isn't too much that I have that has now since sold out, and it's like, wow, I'm glad I got this and didn't have to pay like 3 times as much on eBay. I mean, I feel like that's becoming more and more the case these days with like Exorcist, some other titles we're going to talk about in a second that like immediately sold out, and it's like now you have to go to the aftermarket. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on that. Holy Grails. I'm gonna have to think on.
Yeah.
If as we keep talking here, maybe I'll some will come to me. But
Well,
let's.
real quick,
yeah,
I have a literal holy grail. I am happy that I own the Raiders, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade in those sweet Steelbooks, and I can just pretend that Crystal Skull and the dial of whatever doesn't exist.
You can. Those are still available, by the way. I see them all the time. I still like. You can still get them on Amazon.
I still consider them holy grails.
So regulators, time to mount up, time to talk about some Steelbooks, time to jump in. We have a bunch of Steelbooks to talk about, hopefully some ones that are going to get you guys excited, ones that you maybe have already pre-ordered, ones that I'm actually really excited about, starting with the very first one. I'm talking about Young Guns, and here it is right here. My Young Guns copy and DVD. This is, you know what this show is? This is the upgrade show. All of these DVDs I've been showing, this is all I've ever gotten. And all these are now coming out in 4K. I've never even gotten the blue. It's like all I have a whole section of my collection of DVDs that I've never upgraded. Like anything I've upgraded, they've since been taken out, so I have more room.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole strip of like still need to be upgraded movies, these are all coming out, baby. Time to get the 4K of Young Guns. Take a look at this, Russ. Let me show you something here. This is a special edition from Artisan DVD. Remember Artisan?
I do, like Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Didn't Swimming with Sharks come with an Artisan?
We got
special
bullet
edition?
holes on the front.
Oh, that's tough.
We got bullet holes. We got bullet holes on this Young Guns, and we got all the characters on the inside. And this is coming out, not this, thankfully, but a 4K of Young Guns, December 5th, 4K Ultra HD from Lionsgate in its 35th anniversary. How many Young Guns fans are there out there? Please tell me there's a lot. Please let me know that you are a big fan of this. This, of course, has been released a handful of times already on Blu-ray, including, by the way, exclusive Walmart editions. Young Guns 2 as well. We're not here.
Shout out to Walmart.
Shout out to Walmart, your new home of physical media.
DVD.
We're not going to talk about Young Guns 2. That's been released on Blu-ray as well. But this film is arriving in a Best Buy exclusive steel,
Shout out to
as well as a regular edition. And I want to talk about both editions here. I know you've pre-ordered one. I've pre-ordered one. But let's just talk about what's coming. So we've got a new 4K restoration of the film. We've got a new Dolby Atmos track and a new stereo mix. A new Making of Young Guns featurette with new cast and crew interviews. It doesn't say who, but they are coming back to talk about Young Guns. That's pretty cool. Audio commentary with actors Dermot Mulroney. Actually, hold on a second. It's not. It's audio commentary with Dirty Steve, Chavez, and what the frig is Casey Semesco's name?
Just stop it,
and
Dirty-
Charlie.
Stop it, Dirty Steve. As someone who's never seen Young Guns and has no context, I just want all films to have a commentary with Dirty Steve.
Dirty Steve. That's Dolmet Maroney, and you've got Chavez, also known as just
No,
Chavez E. Chavez, but Dirty Steve calls him Chavez the whole movie.
Dermot
What'd you say,
Mulroney,
Chavez?
He always looked like a Dirty Steve to me.
Dude, he is the friggin' dirtball in this movie. But he's coming in there. Casey Semesco, he's in there doing audio commentary, also famous from 3 O'Clock High. Who remembers 3 O'Clock High? Biloxi Blues. Anyhow, also Billy the Kid, the true story of Billy the Kid.
I'm tired of all the bullshit stories about Billy the Kid.
Me too. I'm ready for the true one. And then in a rare occurrence here, the Steelbook itself is coming with some art cards. It's coming with like a little printout and some art cards to go with it, Russ. You
Best
you
Buy's
lucked out.
really outdone themselves.
Best Buy's going out with a bang.
Yeah, shout out to
At least they're not selling this for $1,500 on their way out. So, Russ, it's time that we answer the call. It's time for the regulators to mount up. You've never seen this movie, but you pre-ordered it. Is that correct?
Yes, I've seen parts when I was a child, but not enough to even fake that I've seen it.
I'm super excited for this.
I pre-ordered it. I felt like since you took the plunge with Natural Born Killers on a blind buy, and Best Buy wants to see me suffer, I decided to support them.
It.
Doesn't even make sense.
Well,
I'm an
I
idiot.
already pre-ordered it as well. I went with the regular.
What's the regular?
This one.
I don't like that at all.
So here's my problem.
But you've seen the movie.
I have.
So.
Here's my problem. That regular edition, this is Lionsgate. The regular edition has like a slipcase going down over it. It's not like a clear plastic thing or anything. I think the illustration here is really, really good. The only one I have a problem with is Emilio Estevez. I think he looks jacked up in that illustration. The Steelbook, I think, again, is Emilio Estevez, and I think the Steelbook itself looks nice. It's got like burnt orangey kind of a look or whatever. But again, and I can't see it. It's kind of a smaller picture, and obviously maybe it'll look different in person, but I don't think he looks that great there either. So I was kind of like torn. So I'm like, Billy the Kid on a steel that kind of looks okay, or a regular where he's jacked, but everyone else looks great. Like every other illustration there, they look spot on. I think that looks great. I don't know. Your thoughts?
My thoughts, as someone who has never seen it, that what I associate the film with is the 1980s, and it's a Western, so even movies prior to the 80s, but the 1980s version of a Western. And that cover you like, where your only complaint is that Estevez is jacked, that looks like 310 to Yuma or something to me. It looks too slick and modern. It doesn't give me any vibe of what I think the movie is, which I could be completely off on that.
This is the movie.
That gives me a vibe of the movie.
This looks like one of those old-timey pictures you would take on the boardwalk.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what this is. This is the original art.
Which is exactly what everything the movie gives me a vibe of. And then I have two other words why I went with the other one is Repo Man. So Emilio Estevez, if it's just focusing on him, and even Alex Cox has done some Westerns, so I get like, it gives me Alex Cox, Repo Man vibes.
Yeah.
And it feels more of its time. Whereas that cover, it just looks modern. It looks like a video game cover or something, like Last of Us, or I don't know what it is. It's just, it looks too slick.
You've got that Repo Man sort of background that I do not, and I will say, just to in a counterpoint, that again, this movie is a ton of fun. It still is. There's some, I don't want to say like laughable moments, but it's got some charm. It's got that 80s like fun.
I'm not saying the movie's going to be like Repo Man.
No.
I was just literally talking about the cover.
Why don't you let me finish? No, I was going to say this kind of has like that, like, what'd you say, like a slice of cheese? This movie's got a slice of cheese on it, I feel like.
Hope so.
But this movie to me is like peak Emilio Estevez. Like when I think of Emilio Estevez at all, this is what I think of, because I've got this more of my background than Repo Man. I don't know if you think more of
No,
that.
I do too, honestly, because like Repo Man, he wasn't anybody when that.
He's got that energy, that Estevez like energy in this movie that's just
no,
like
I do too.
full on display.
And I think it's our age. I think I think Free Jack. I think Men at Work. And I
Wisdom
and I honestly
with Demi Moore.
Wait, what?
You ever see that movie Wisdom with Demi Moore?
I absolutely have not.
It's like they're like it's like a Bonnie and Clyde thing where they go on like a whole
Will you let
like
me speak?
rampage, and then it turns out he was like dreaming in the bath or something.
But no, so anyway,
Spoiler alert.
Repo Man and say Breakfast Club are better movies than Men at Work or Free Jack, but I associate that era more with Emilio Estevez.
I feel like, and again, I have only seen Repo Man once. Emilio Estevez looks like he's having the time of his life in this movie, and I would say kind of the same way maybe in like a Men at Work. Like it just seems like he's having a great time, and I don't know if that's like a Repo Man thing too. Do you feel like is the
Yeah. I mean, it's more punk rock. It's
Yeah.
more of a you're not gonna have a big smile on your face the entire movie. Does he look like he played it well?
Oh yeah, it's just like a ton of energy. It's just a ton of
Yeah,
energy.
yeah.
That laugh, that classic laugh. He's laughing at everything. It's just
That's
awesome.
what I mean. Like that character isn't in Repo Man. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be like a laughing at other people's jokes kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I don't know who else is buying this deal out there. Let us know. Can we get a quick understanding of if did one anyone pre-order this? Two, which version did you pre-order? Let us know.
I don't think there's a whole lot of love for this movie.
Wow.
There's a couple people, but not
No love for this movie, I'm hearing in the comments. That's really depressing. Okay.
a couple.
All right.
New Metal Ricky says, "Hell yeah, young gun."
Hell yeah, Young Guns, New Metal Ricky. Okay, Ricky. So we got somebody out there.
Grant Johnson said this looks like a Netflix cover.
Grant.
Yes.
Grant.
Thank you, Grant.
Grant Johnson. It looks like a
Exactly.
Netflix cover.
That is exactly what I was trying to say. Yes.
I feel like that's the
that
deal.
does. That looks like it would pop up trending in the U.S. today or some bullshit. It does.
I know, and I feel like that's the usual deal with most of these movies that they're bringing back. They're trying to make. We've said it 1,000 times. They're trying to make it look new. They're trying
Oh,
to make
yeah,
it look
yeah.
like it's on Netflix, not like this here,
course.
like family photo of Billy the Kid, Doc Chavez, Dirty
Yeah.
Steve. Look at him.
That was probably Dirty
Steve
That's
right
probably
there.
Dirty Steve's idea to take that photo.
Dirty Steve.
Look at you guys go to the boardwalk.
Well, if you all thought Young Guns, if you all thought
Let's
you
go
didn't
get some
like
funnel
Young-
cake and take this picture.
if you all didn't like Young Guns, wait till you hear about The Fugitive in 4K. I couldn't even get that out.
Man.
The Fugitive in 4K. Now, this is... Yeah, we're going to make this snappy. So, The Fugitive in 4K,
Sucks.
100-year anniversary Warner Brothers. There's been a little bit of a break in the Warner Brothers 100-year anniversary stuff, and now there's been like a quick splash again, and this one kind of popped up. And as I mentioned to you, I watched Natural Born Killers for the first time last night, and Tommy Lee Jones in that is incredible, and I thought about him in this. The first movie I ever even saw Tommy Lee Jones in was Under Siege. I didn't even know who he was in that. I was like, this is a weird villain. He's kind of like a weird looking dude. He's like not like your normal like villain. And turned out he's but this is gonna be a perfect part for the clips where Tommy Lee Jones just keeps saying like, I don't care about this Steelbook.
When he's like when he jumps.
I don't care. The whole audience is like, I don't care.
He would not sanction this buffoonery.
He would not. Well, regular edition, Steelbook edition. The Steelbook edition, correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like some like Hitchcock shit or something when you see some of these new Hitchcock releases that come out. This looks like Rope or like something weird. I don't know. I do like The Fugitive. I mean,
This looks like Rope.
I know this is the benefit of the live stream where people real time kind of get to tell you like I do or don't like this, because usually we record in a vacuum and I'm like, Ross, we're gonna put up a segment about The Fugitive, and then like one person watches it.
Nah, I would have told you straight up. This movie blows, dude. I don't want to talk about this shit.
There's like a weird soft spot. There's like a weird soft spot I
Go
have
off.
for 90s Harrison Ford. Obviously, as you know.
Harrison Ford doesn't even have a soft spot for 90s Harrison Ford. He is so miserable in this movie and in everything he does.
I didn't kill my wife.
God, no, he wants to
I
kill
don't care.
himself. Dude, come on. That's and I love Harrison Ford, but like, man, he just has in every 90s Harrison Ford movie, it's like the definition of a guy who just doesn't want to be at his job. Like, that's what he gives me the impression of, man.
You mean like the
Yes.
clear and present danger?
He's giving the same face, dude. Literally look at every cover he has. It's the same face on every one.
Can I get some
Slightly
respect on Harrison Ford's
constipated,
name real
and I
quick in the
don't wanna-
crowd?
Slightly constipated, and I don't want to be here today.
People are respecting Tommy Lee Jones. One
Tommy Lee
person did.
Jones rocks, dude.
There we go.
Rolling Thunder alone. Rolling Thunder alone.
What's happening?
This movie blows, dude.
This movie blows.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Oh, shit.
Yo, this is
All right.
this is a Steelbooks segment. You want to know what Steelbooks are coming out? You want to know what Best Buy is taking from us? They're taking The Fugitive in 4K away. This is their exclusive. All right, Harrison. So no love for Harrison Ford. But what about Russ' love for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which is also getting a Steelbook? There's one reason why I wanted to bring this up, and one reason alone. And I'll wait for Russ to come back. I mean, obviously, I didn't see this movie. I will never see this movie. I love The Fugitive, and I will never watch this. I'm assuming people might like this more than The Fugitive.
I'd rather watch The Fugitive on a loop than ever attempt this one, Matt.
Good to hear.
And I don't hate The Fugitive. It's just boring and dull.
Well, the latest Indiana Jones, Russ, is also coming out on a Steelbook for anyone out there that cares. Does anyone out there care about this movie? Did anyone see this movie? Does anyone?
A dial of garbage.
Yes. Okay, there we go. Who has seen this movie? I have not. Did anyone out there see it?
I don't know, dude. Rumor on the street is this is the movie that made Best Buy quit physical media. They're like, we're out. Can't support this shit.
First of all, let's look at this 4K art. And I don't mean this as any disrespect. I don't mean like ableism or anything else. But Harrison Ford looks like he has Bell's palsy on this cover. Like his face is like, is he having a stroke? What's happening to him on this cover? Like, why did they pick this picture? They de-aged this man, and he looked like he did back when he originally shot this thing. They used this. Are they trying to show how old and decrepit he is?
This is saying it's powering down in 1 minute.
What's powering down?
I don't know. It's saying I have to press a button.
Oh my gosh, hold on 1 second. The control room needs me. Russ, entertain the crowd.
All right, I got it from here, Matt. So anyway, to all you watching, continue avoiding this trash. Who gives a damn about what this looks like? You're not watching it. I'm not watching it. We were all duped once by Crystal Skull. We're not going to have that shit again. But, yeah, my thoughts on Indiana Jones. Raiders is the best, easily. Temple and Last Crusade, it's almost like if you ask me one day of the week, I'll say Temple. One day of the week, I'll say Last. Both of the merits of those films are damn near polar opposite. So it really comes down to mood on which one. I'm not mad at anyone who puts Last Crusade as second best or anyone who puts Temple of Doom as second best. Matt, I'm floundering out here. You left... You literally just... Yeah, well, when I walked out of the room, you didn't leave this fucking Indiana Jones cover up for me to stare at.
It was Young Guns up the whole time.
Exactly. I'd rather have Dirty Steve in my face than this shit. They should... Yeah, come on.
All right, I'm back.
Thanks, man. Anyway, so what do you think of this cover?
Sarah said that he looks so upset.
Like, seriously, I mean, that's the thing.
I
It's
would be
like,
too.
this whole movie is him being old and angry. It's like, that's no fun. And they really are capturing that on this damn cover.
I'm about to say, I guess it's a faithful...
But here's the one thing that I think is the most obnoxious, and then we can move on, because this is not just the movie. The movie's obnoxious, but what's obnoxious about this release is what I wanted to bring up. You just mentioned, Russ, you've got those lovely Steelbooks.
Yes.
They are original poster art, correct?
Yes.
And they're beautiful. Black, they look great. Even the Crystal Skull, which you don't own, and that's fine. Original poster art. It's whatever it is what it is. For whatever reason, they're putting out a Steelbook that does not match in any way, shape, or form those other ones. It is Indiana Jones's hat over top of this dial. It messes up the whole vibe, the whole flow. Why would you do that? What are you thinking? I mean, it sums up what this movie is. Crap. Why would you do that?
It sums up the movie because you're right. Everyone involved. What were they thinking from its inception, from its script to the filming to the editing to the everything?
To Harrison Ford coming back. All right. Well, at any rate, Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny. Complete your Indiana Jones Steelbook collection with one sore thumb.
Mine's been complete. What are you talking about? I've had my complete Indiana Jones collection for a long time now.
It has been complete. All right, Russ. Well, moving on to the hottest film of the summer, and not Barbie, but I'm talking Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is coming out in a Steelbook November the 21st. We did a Barbenheimer review. Nobody really watched that. Some people did. Some people cared to know what we thought about Oppenheimer and Barbie.
I bet those numbers would have been quadruple if I had watched it. I just hadn't seen it
You
at
hadn't
the
seen
time
it
we
yet.
shot it.
You hadn't seen it yet, but you have
People
seen
are
it now.
tuning in to hear my thoughts on the new Noah Baumbach, Greta Gerwig picture.
They sure are. And this is arriving for the first time in 4K and Blu-ray and a Steelbook. Now, I'm going to show you both. Or I'm going to show you all the regulars, but we're here for Steel, so forget these regulars. I would go Steel all the way. I feel like, I mean, the original is kind of the original poster art, or the regular is the original poster art, but that Steelbook is also that poster art that you saw where he's just like standing in the bomb.
That's pretty bad.
Dude, it's awesome. For a Steelbook, that kicks ass. Not to mention, but this release is stacked. It is so stacked. Thank you, Christopher Nolan. 4K, HDR, aspect ratio shift, all that kind of stuff as far as the presentation's concerned. DTS master audio track. There's a making of documentary, and then there are 9 thorough featurettes covering literally every aspect of the creation of this movie. Everything.
Nolan is a 4K king. I declare him that today.
Dude, there's even
he is a film and 4K king.
He is. I'm glad that to him probably, including there's a featurette about the creation of that IMAX camera that does black and white. Like that was a thing that was made for this movie. There's a whole featurette on that. I feel like he appreciates film, cinema, and I think he wants people to be in on what went into it, at least now. There's a lot of releases that he's had that do not have nearly this level of detail.
And that's the thing, too. It's like he's literally... First off, he's combining, like you said, creating a new camera to shoot black and white on film. It's this marriage of modern and what we love is film, not shit shot on digital.
Yeah.
So watching these features is actually informative and interesting because you're seeing it's not just the same old, we did this, here's an actor interview, and here's us editing on a computer and adding shit in. It's like we're learning a whole process modernized of all the classic elements of filmmaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's showing it to you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That is really cool.
No, it is. It's really
Even
cool.
if I didn't like this movie, I would be interested in watching these features.
A ton of features, a ton of stuff. So overall, it was a great movie. It's a great release. Clearly, I remember when we talked about it, I said that I probably wasn't going to go out and pick this up solo. And I'm not sure if I will. I think I'm in the camp of waiting for my Nolan box set, kind of like my Tarantino box set. But what I will say, Russ, is this is...
You're shooting yourself in the foot doing that, man.
We'll see. But this is
Did you pre-order it from Best Buy?
This limited edition Best Buy Steelbook?
No, your Nolan set.
I didn't. But the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook, Russ, you ready for this? It's already sold out.
Son of a bitch. All right, I'm not picking this up.
It's already sold out, pissing me off. So talk about grails. Maybe one day this will be my grail.
This is my holy grail.
This is my grail. Yeah, it's all sold out. Mozart's Ghost
and you
got
know,
Oppenheimer.
How many scalpers picked that up?
Oh,
I guarantee if I went to eBay, it's all over there.
Golden discs. Hook me up. Steal my identity again. Just get my Oppenheimer, please.
God damn it. I wanted to pick this up.
I know. I as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, that Steel's so great. And then instantly I saw, sold out already. Because like you said, this is becoming so niche to the point where certain titles are just going to... It's like sneakers. It's like limited edition posters. It's like anything else that's limited edition where bots just snatch stuff up. That's going to be kind of where this continues to go for certain things, which is a drag.
I thought you were using sneakers as a reference for like a big movie that's going to sell out quick.
Like Robert.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Like Robert Redford
about?
Sneakers?
Yeah. I was like, what?
The movie Sneakers starring Robert Redford's got an exclusive Steel that sold out immediately. Yeah, Sneakers.
Yeah. Or as I'm sure you were like, it could
like
be
a shoe
reference also.
Yeah.
I don't.
They're sneakers. They like sneak.
Oppenheimer is the Jordans of physical media releases.
People are excited about how many extras Nolan usually puts in his releases.
Yeah, and honestly,
Their releases do get a ton of features. We're excited about that too.
They do. And we're gonna actually talk about one more Nolan film in this Steelbook roundup. But I will say I own the Nolan 4K collection. And I mean, they're great. There's such great films to look at. This is obviously a great film to look at as well. I'm sure I saw it in the theater. I'm sure in 4K it's going to be stunning as well.
Yeah.
But it's known that a collection has been put out there before. So maybe, I know he's not with Warner Brothers anymore. He jumped to Universal, so who knows? But maybe that's why it got snatched up. No chance ever.
This bums me out though, because at the time when we recorded our segment, I didn't get to see it yet. I saw it shortly after.
Give your thoughts to the people.
Dude, I adore it. I think it's, in my opinion, it may be his best film. And I'm saying that as the only ones I haven't seen are, I've never seen The Prestige, and I've never seen Interstellar.
Ooh, okay. Let's hold on. Let's let that simmer. Wait.
I know.
Let's
and
let the
those are
crowd.
two-
Let's let the crowd simmer a little.
Those are two big ones
Biggins.
for him. I know. Am I wrong though? Memento has an edge on it just because it was fresher for like I didn't know who Nolan was at that time, and it was new and it was his thing. But I think Oppenheimer is probably the better film than Memento, and I think it's pretty easily better than all of his other ones that I've seen.
Okay.
It's
One of the best movies of the century, like the box says.
Is that what the box says?
I don't
One of the
know,
best movies of the century?
The last 23 years.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know if I'd say the century. I'd say of all time.
This movie did what physical media. This movie's doing for physical media what Oppenheimer did to the world with his nuclear bomb.
Yeah,
Is
definitely.
that what you mean? Well,
It blew up Best Buy.
I mean, to be honest, when I saw this announcement, I was like, oh, okay, I probably won't get this. And then as soon as I saw the Steelbook sold out, I was like, damn, wish I got that Steelbook.
I wish you would have texted me on the side. I told you a lot of times I wait to hear this news when we record.
Russ is a subscriber as well.
I am. And like, dude, if I would have known this existed, I would have pre-ordered it. But shit, god damn it.
Sorry about
And
that.
you're
Russ.
right. And all if anybody's watching this channel, I'm sure they're just like me. I can't buy the other one because every time I look at it, it's gonna bother me that it's not what I really wanted.
I won't buy that either. I don't know. I mean, the one thing that I think is interesting to think about, just to throw out there, is as these movies get broken in 4K and now it's like finally out in 4K, I think sometimes that maybe not now, maybe years from now, it opens up the opportunity for some other company, some other person, whether it's these Manta Lab types or it's a Lutique, to like repackage and put out. Like even when we talked about like Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Like Lost Boys comes out 4K, okay, that's great, but then this collector's edition comes out, it wasn't that great, but at least there's chances for it. Maybe not this, but in general is what I mean.
This will. Just going global, this will have a ton of releases. It's anything Christopher Nolan will.
Yeah.
So you brighten up my day. Now that I think about it like that, you're right. Come on, how many editions of The Dark Knight? Even Interstellar, I've seen 50 million releases of, you know?
Yeah. Well, it was a great movie. If you hadn't checked out our review, and Russ hadn't seen it at the time, he just heard me talk about it. But if you want to check out me talk about Oppenheimer, check out our Barbenheimer review. This was a really excellent movie, a fantastic release. Thank you, Christopher Nolan. You truly are a 4K king.
Yeah, and he
want you to watch both movies.
You guys want me to watch Interstellar and The Prestige?
Wait, tell the people about Interstellar. Tell them why you should watch Interstellar, Russ.
I know Anne Hathaway's in it.
But the people don't know why you like Anne Hathaway. Do they know?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Get personal.
Anne Hathaway is one of my crushes. I admire her. I admire her as an actress as well, but I also think she's, beautiful.
Admires.
No, she's a great actress. But yeah, even that, I never watched Interstellar. And the reason with The Prestige I never watched, and this is actually kind of cool, a reason for me to watch it, it was spoiled for me when it came out. But I don't remember now. I don't remember.
That David Bowie's Teslas?
Spoiler. Yeah, it was spoiled for me. And I remember thinking like, well, fuck, there's no reason for me to watch this now. Yeah. And then the Edward Norton Illusionist one came out as well. And I was just like, I'm going to skip both.
Yeah.
But I completely forget what the spoiler was. So I should watch it now. And Interstellar, I love Matthew McConaughey also. With Interstellar, it was more of the length. And it was more of, even Nolan fans, I know now it's kind of getting some revisionist love, and I consider it revisionist because I remember when Interstellar came out, even Nolan fanboys were divided on it. And I remember thinking, well, fuck, if the Nolan fanboys are divided, I'm probably not going to care. And I don't want to devote 6 hours to something that I'm probably going to walk away thinking, hey, that was a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, I can share a similar sentiment. This is one of those movies, and we talked about already had a video about the length of movies. Interstellar is a fairly long movie. When I watched it the first time, I watched it in 2 sittings. I was so glad that I watched it, but I was exactly how you just said. Like I was like kind of on the fence. Mm-hmm. But what I will say is, and why I think this community likes it, and why I have also continued to go back to it, is the 4K of it is like reference quality disc. It is like one of the most beautiful 4Ks ever put out, and I think you see that more talked about now as it's come home to physical media. That people are now championing it and celebrating it for it being so great to look at, and then they revisit the story and they're like, wow, this movie probably is better than maybe I remember. But I think as a release, it's absolutely outstanding. And I think I've watched it 2 more times since, and I think my opinion has grown of it as well since the first time I watched it.
When you say it's a reference disc, how well does it compare to the 4K release of Grease?
Not nearly well enough.
No.
Not nearly well enough. For any of you, here's another personal anecdote. For all you, we are the 4K kings, but I will tell you, and I'd love to hear some of your setups out there. I'm rocking a 4K television from 9 years ago. 9 years. I got a 4K television when it first came out, and I have not replaced it since. And every once in a while, there's this feeling of like, am I getting the best that I possibly could be? Because by now you've got, QOLED screens with a bazillion more pixels than ever. And I'm like sitting at my like 4K from it's all covered in dust.
For those watching, what has Matt troubled is there's a bi-weekly movie night we do with a group of friends. And the last film that was shown was Grease. And it was the 4K release of Grease. And everyone there, we all collectively agreed that it looked extremely washed out and just flat.
I had never seen it
before. If anyone out there is watching, Matt had never seen it before. I noticed it. Others noticed. If anyone out there has seen the 4K release of Grease, were we wrong, or does Matt have a shitty setup?
Probably a shitty setup.
Nah, dude. I've heard the Saturday Night Fever 4K, which I bought, and I haven't put it on yet because everything I've read about it says it's terrible.
I mean, it could be. I feel like a lot of times I feel like with 4K, and a lot of times you do get that HDR and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. A lot of times they try to go for more of a natural look, and sometimes colors that are really tuned up.
Grease,
like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
even if you went natural with Grease, like it is way more colorful than that looked.
Okay.
Like it's. I know what you're saying. Like,
what's everyone saying in the comments?
Saying that LG OLED,
Yeah.
is the way to go.
LG OLED. Like, don't get me wrong, you guys. I've got like 2 or 3 televisions saved in an Amazon wish list that I look at all the time. Like, that's the TV one day, 10 years from
I
now.
thought you were going to defend your setup.
No, I'm not going to defend my
I was
setup.
like, he does. He has this on his wish list.
No,
like,
my shit's old, but like I definitely have
I've seen his Amazon cart.
these more modern TVs. I look at them all the time, and I'm like, wow, one day this TV will die, and it'll be sad, but it'll be one of those happy deaths because then I'll be able to finally become a true 4K
I don't
king.
think it's your setup because, dude, we've watched plenty of other 4Ks. I think it was that disc.
That
I
disc.
think it was that release.
Sarah wants to know how big your TV is.
My television is a 75-inch, and the ones that I've saved to look at, I would go bigger. I'd want to go 83. I think 80. They have these like weird numbers with those OLEDs and QLEDs. It's not like 85, 75, 95. It's all like 83, 92. It's like weird.
Yeah.
So if this were to die, which it will one day, I already get like weird errors on it. Like there's this error that comes up that says like fan overheating, set will turn off soon, and then it like disappears, and I'm like, I know, grease made it too hot, and then it disappears, and I'm like, oh, thank God, it's living for one more day. But it's on its way out, and when it does, I'll get to pull the trigger, and I'll let you guys know what I end up getting when that day does come. But Oppenheimer, Grease, TVs. The next Steelbook, Russ, and just a quick brief mention, and I say this about all these. I just want to talk about one quick thing about each one that just kind of
It's
always
a live stream, Matt.
scratches
this is what
my head.
they want.
This is what they want. They want banter.
They want it. Yeah.
They
this
need
is the
it.
stuff we edit out.
This is all the stuff we edit out.
Here's something funny for those watching. Remember that one time we recorded and I went on like a 45-minute tangent about how great DMX is?
They don't remember that.
No, do you remember?
I remember
that?
it. I don't even think we had started recording yet. I mean, hit record. I think we were just
Oh.
talking.
Yeah, I wasted about 45 minutes of time just going off about the genius of DMX.
We're getting set up, and Russ starts talking about DMX, and we just go off. And I'm talking about him. Russ talking about him. We just talked about DMX for a while. It was a great time. It had nothing to do with physical media. But Stand By Me. So Stand By Me.
This is my second favorite DMX film.
So Stand By Me. This is a Sony steal. We've been shouting out Sony a lot. We've been
They've been doing good.
They've been appreciating Steelbooks and appreciating these releases and really doing something nice. So I wanted to bring it up. This is coming out December 5th. 4K Ultra HD from Sony, a company who will not let me down the way that Best Buy did. And this was already released in 4K back in like 2019 in a regular edition. And now they're getting that original art steel, which is always a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
Everything here is the exact same, but here's what I want to throw out there. And again, maybe there's some eagle eyes out there too. Maybe this is like next. I don't know what people are saying in the comments, but on the original release, it has a feature presentation, 4K resolution, whatever, with HDR. This one says with Dolby Vision, which are two different things. There's HDR and then there's Dolby Vision HDR. I have seen that before where things get re-released and the HDR gets upgraded to Dolby Vision. It doesn't mention that here as like being like a big selling point, so I don't know if maybe the other listing is just wrong and this is the identical thing in a Steelbook. But if you haven't gotten this before and you want that Dolby Vision experience, this looks like the one to get. I mean, I love this art anyway, so I feel like this would be the one I would want.
I do love the art, and I've never owned it, so I'm on the fence. I might.
I've never owned this either.
This is one of those movies where
Just kidding. I owned it on DVD. It's in that slot. Remember, I was just telling you all the ones I never upgraded. I've never had this on Blu-ray.
Oh,
This is
I've
it.
never owned it even on DVD.
DVD.
Roger Weiser said he's going to hold out for the Reiner collection.
Roger Weiser commenting saying he wants the Reiner collection. Roger, I'm with you, buddy. Me, you. Who else out there wants just their director's collections in 4K? Forget all these single solos.
Roger, keep eyeing that Caldor website to get your pre-order in for the Rob Reiner collection. And your,
Caldor.
right next to your Christopher Nolan box set we're going to get.
Well, here's my collector's edition of Stand By Me that I once owned on DVD. It's right here. And I'm going to pick up that 4K. I'm going to upgrade, Russ, because that's the Steelbook right there, and I don't want this stuff to sell out. I don't want this to be the next Oppenheimer.
I know. Now that it's war, now that Best Buy declared it, I mean, now I got to buy everything.
Every Steelbook, I can't stop.
This is a great marketing scheme.
It is.
No, I'm with. And this is one of those movies, though, I take for granted, if I have to be honest. It's one of those films, it's like, am I going to pop this on if I own it? Probably not. Probably not. It's like I've seen it a lot as a kid. Watching it as an adult, it's a brilliant movie. River Phoenix is incredible. All the kids are incredible. Everyone's incredible in it. But it's just not something it's not a necessity for some reason to me.
It's got a place in my heart as being.
It definitely does.
It does. But like you said, as a kid, that's where it like solidified for me. And part of the reason was, this is like a weird reason, but I feel like part of it was when it came out, my mom wouldn't let me watch it because there were children in it that were swearing. And to her, that was like no, like I watched plenty of movies with people swearing, plenty. But because it was kids swearing, I think she thought like, oh no, like I can't have him watching that. And forever, all I wanted to do was watch it. I like saw it in the distance, kind of a thing. It's like it's there. I see it's on TV. It's a commercial.
She made your interest.
I was like, I want it
so much by making it taboo. The interest
really
grew exponentially. Yes.
The interest grew exponentially.
That was like Basic Instinct when it came out.
Yeah,
it's like, wait, everyone's talking about it, and then you watch it. Hey, that's just an awesome movie.
I felt the same
way. It's not
way.
even like anything. Even if I watched it when I was that age, I would have thought, hey, this is a cool movie.
Dude,
like,
I know.
But the interest of like, wow, the sexuality, and I'm not allowed to see it. This is so tittillating. I have to see it now.
Yeah, and I think when I actually sat down to watch it, the cussing part almost like didn't even faze me. The movie itself like really drew me in, and I was like compelled by the story and everything that was going on. Like, oh God, I hope he doesn't notice that this character says this one word, or oh my God, this thing. And it's like when you're a kid, this stuff just like flies by you. Like you don't even pay attention to like some of this innuendo and weird stuff. You just like remember certain things that really stick with you. But I don't know.
Dan Aykroyd got a blowjob in Ghostbusters.
And I never knew.
Oh, I did.
You did know?
That was my favorite part of the movie when I was 5. No.
Oh, stand by me.
Who's your favorite Ghostbuster? Ray.
Ray gets all the
I was
ladies.
dressing up as him for Halloween.
He gets all the ghost ladies. So that's.
I was like, well, Venkman, he's the funny guy, and Ramis, he's the intelligent one, but Aykroyd gets his dick sucked. That's how I describe Ghostbusters to everybody.
That's how you describe it. Well, that's Stand By Me in 4K, and that is coming out on what did I say? December 5th. 2 more Steelbooks left, Russ. You ready? Elf in time for the holiday season. Now, I know that there's a lot of Elf fans out there. Let me know in the audience if there are. This has never been, for me, a holiday movie that I really cared too much about. I never even saw it. It's not until my family showed it to me that I watched it, and I was like, okay, this was a sweet movie. It's enjoyable, but it's just not one of those ones that like ticks all the boxes for me when it comes to holiday stuff. And it has been out in 4K. However, Zavvi has decided to put out, and Warner Brothers, in their 100th anniversary, has decided to put out a Steelbook of Elf. Not only is Warner Brothers putting this out in the UK, but they're also putting it in a collector's edition through Zavvi that's getting all the bells and whistles that everyone knows and loves that Zavvi does. What do you think about that Steelbook? I think it's kind of cool. Boring? Do you want Will Ferrell on the cover?
No, dude, this is it's such an inoffensive title. I'm beyond ambivalent. It's like whatever artwork you throw on Elf
doesn't matter.
is fine. Yeah,
I think it's kind of fun though.
You know, it's kind of like I had the same experience as you did. I didn't watch it when it came out, and I was kind of forced to by family at some point. And I had
Forced to by family? I didn't say forced, Russ. I said I went into it willingly.
I had the same experience you did. I was just like, okay, that was cute. I will say this. I always thought the first half is really good, and then it falls apart completely. I think it turns into a weird-ass action movie in the end of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys clearly had no idea where to go with this. But the idea of, the fish out of water in New York, a lot of those scenes are really funny in the beginning. It just kind of, for me, it doesn't know where to go after that. And Ferrell, I've always had a love-hate thing with him.
That's what I was just about to say.
He can grate on me very easily.
This character grates on my nerves a little bit. It's like a little too
much yelling.
Just too much. Like, and I like Will Ferrell comedy, even when it's not PG or kid friendly. Even like
I prefer it when it's not.
Right, and he's got a way about him that just can come across as funny. But this character to me is just a little too over the top for me. Just for me. What's that? From the control booth, my wife says that Will Ferrell's name is spelled wrong on the case. Can you believe it?
Well, if that's the case, I'm pre-ordering this because this will be a collector's
True, item. It is. So it's a Steelbook. It's nice. It slides into this outer box, and it's got all this, basically a ton of paper. You're getting like a double-sided poster. You're getting art cards, storybook cards, character cards, a postcard, and then, of course, the rigid slipcase, which, like I just mentioned with Steelbooks, this is going to keep your Steelbook safe, but I think that box doesn't look that great. I don't know. It's like a bunch of balls, and Will Ferrell's one of them. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Any Elf fans out there?
It's Christmassy.
It is Christmassy.
What are you going to do?
For your loved one. 20th anniversary, dude. Limited to 2,000 globally. Guess what? It's sold out. Globally.
Rats.
The Steelbook Solo and the Collector's Edition sold out.
Well, what am I going to do now, man?
I don't know, dude. And I'm going to tell you right up, too, and I think I mentioned this on other Christmas titles we've covered. I really don't care to upgrade any of them in 4K.
Yeah, this will just get released next year.
I know, and I just don't. It's like most of the Christmas movies I watch, I have on DVD. That's fine. Even Blu-ray, fine.
Hey, you and I, there's another deep cut we have in common. We both just have the ref on DVD. Where's our goddamn Blu-ray or 4K of that?
You didn't even need to say
with a Kevin Spacey commentary.
Don't say another word. No. The ref is absolutely. I was just about to say that. Other than Scrooged and the ref, those are probably the only two movies that I would ever upgrade to get to whatever ultimate release they would put out. But
Bad Santa.
Okay, like Christmas Vacation, I probably wouldn't upgrade.
Yeah,
Christmas
Vacation,
Story,
yes, which I did, but Christmas Vacation,
I didn't upgrade. Christmas Story, I didn't upgrade. They put out the 4Ks of the animated classics like Rudolph and them. I didn't upgrade that.
I don't consider Gremlins or Die Hard Christmas movies.
I do have the 4Ks of both of those, but yeah, I'm with you. But anyway, Elf. For those of you that wanted it, did anybody get Elf out there? Does anybody care about Elf?
Did anybody get it? Seriously, did anybody find it funny?
No,
I didn't understand it.
I didn't understand it. Well, to wrap up this Steelbook segment, Russ, I wanted to shout out just one other quick release that I felt like was fantastic, and I slept on it. And I shouldn't have, but I slept on it. And that is, I don't know if anyone else is familiar with this out there, if anyone saw it, if anyone picked it up, let me know. But that is Memento. We talked about Christopher Nolan and British label 101 Films. They do some collector's editions here and there that I've seen. Howard the Duck is one. I think you've got one. Is it Prom Night or something? What's that one you showed me?
I do have a special edition of Prom Night, but I forget.
It's got a booklet.
101. Yeah.
It comes out right. Yeah, I think because when you showed that to me, I was like, oh, that's the same one as Howard Duck. Howard the Duck, I think. But they're British. They're in the UK. If anybody out there is still from the UK, I know it's like 3 a.m. If you're still up, they are putting out a Blu-ray. That is the only thing that is sort of like kind of sticking in my craw a little bit, is that it's Blu-ray, but it is a limited edition Steelbook and a regular release. But the limited edition Steelbook is coming in a deluxe treatment, and it's coming with a ton of new stuff, which is really interesting to me. You're getting new... here, let me see here. There's 6 new interviews, including with Nolan, including with producers, a composer, a writer. Carrie Ann Moss came back. There's the chronological cut of Memento, the original cut of Memento, a bunch of other featurettes. It's just such an awesome amount of things to put out for Memento, which is not already there. This wasn't included in the 4K Nolan set. This has only ever been originally on Blue, so you've never gotten this in 4K. But this collection here looks so awesome. Now, when you look at what you're getting, look at this Steelbook, dude. This Steelbook is awesome, first of all. This box set is made up of Polaroids. All of these little things that you're getting like replica Polaroids. In general, it looks real classy, and I think that's
awesome.
that Steelbook looks really
yeah,
good
you're
too.
right. My prom night. Now that I see that spine, that is my
That 101 with like a little
yeah,
bookmarky looking
Yep.
thing. Yeah. So, I don't know if anyone out there got this. This is one of my favorite Nolan films. I know we talked about Nolan for a second. Like you said, it's very fresh, but also raw. It feels very like unpolished, but like in a good way. You know, it's such a cool idea that was executed in such a really fresh
It
way.
feels unpolished for Nolan
Yeah.
in comparison to what we've seen Nolan done.
Yeah.
It didn't feel unpolished when it came out.
No, you're right. I watched this. I forget how this was recommended to me, but I watched it. I was like, damn, this movie is so good. You get a coaster for Ferdy's Bar. The only reason I slept on this when I saw it announced was because it was Blu-ray. And now it's sold out, and I'm sad that I don't have it. Isn't that the worst?
Yeah, I saw it was announced, but I forgot about it 15 minutes later.
Did anyone out there snag this? Can
Didn't write it
anyone?
down.
What's that?
Didn't tattoo it on my body.
You didn't tattoo it on your body to remember? Is there any Memento fans out there? Did anyone else pick up this Memento edition? Does anyone like this Memento edition? I feel like it looks awesome. No comments on it. Okay. Well, Memento is out. It's out now, actually. It came out yesterday. The original version or the regular version is going to come out, I think, in 2 weeks. But I don't know. It looks like a nice little box. I'd like to see what their editions like this look like. I've never seen something like this.
I do like that box.
Yeah,
The
it's cool.
Steelbook isn't blowing me away, but I like
Russ.
I like the Polaroid box. I think that's incredible.
Well,
I call it incredible.
Incredible.
It's incredible.
It's incredible. Well, that is the Steelbook news, Russ. That is the Steelbook news. And we are still live here, 4K Kings. I am Matt. This is Russ, 4,000 subscriber stream. If you're still hanging in there, we really appreciate you. If you've fallen off, that's okay too. We're going to be putting all these segments up as we normally do at some point in time over the course of the next few weeks for you all to enjoy in their usual fashion. But we really appreciate everyone hanging in there and enjoying this live stream with us and commenting. Anything from the crowd before we move on to our final segment, Arrow Video?
A lot of comments about people dying for Fight Club in 4K.
Yeah.
I am. I'm dying for Fight Club in 4K as well, to everyone who's saying that. I know the narrative is kind of shifted on that film. It's become synonymous with like Chads or Dude Bros and all that, but I don't care. I still state it. It's David Fincher's best movie, period.
And then also a lot of people saying that they love DMX.
A lot of DMX fans in the crowd. Russ, we should have recorded that DMX thing.
You said that's why I brought it, because you said it. You're like,
did.
there are probably people out there who want to hear you, because I'll go off.
It was 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was like a whole history lesson about, no, dude, he went through this as a child, and this is why it's dark, and Irv Gotti produced it. Like,
And then we watched that video of him on that slingshot ride that I love so much, where he's like screaming.
that's
"Whoa!"
what brought it
That's
up.
the best.
That's what brought it up, because you were
That's the
laughing
best
at it,
video.
and that's what brought it, because you were laughing at it, and that's what brought me on to like, dude, that's why he's so great. He's always real. He's not putting on a show in that video. You're laughing, but it's genuine, and it's like that's what his music was. That's what his
genuine.
artistry was. It was genuine. I dare you to find another mainstream musician
God.
who had. Like I said, subjectively, you can like him or dislike him, but who was that in tune with their emotions?
Well,
like, it's insane.
If for all you DMX fans out there, I will just plug this. Just search DMX slingshot ride. There is a video of DMX on a ride at a circus ride.
Look at him sitting here trying to call DMX a clown. I won't stand for this. That's why I had to talk for 45 minutes.
It's like at Six Flags or something. It's one of those rides where they like, you're strapped in and then they hit a button and you just fly into the air and you're still like harnessed in, but you fly up and you come down and then you swing. But it's a 2-seater. And in the video, he's sitting with someone who's a stranger to him. I mean, obviously the guy probably knows who he is, but it's just someone that sat next to him. And this thing gets shot into the sky. And DMX is screaming. And this man is about to pass out because he can't take the ride at all. But DMX is trying to keep him with it. He's like, come on, man, come on, we're going to do it. He's like screaming at this guy. is the funniest video. I can't do a DMX impression to save my life, but if you could just imagine what that's like, go find it. YouTube it now. It's hilarious. But like you said, totally genuine.
Yeah.
He was not making fun of this guy. He was not saying, oh, you're a pussy. He was like, come on, bro, we're going to do this together. It was like a whole thing.
It's not like I was there or anything or knew him, but I mean, just from all accounts, I mean, genuine is, it doesn't even touch. Like, and I'm always attracted to people like that who are just completely, like, he couldn't fake it if he tried. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't water down shit. Like, he couldn't. He was unable to. And that's, I trust people. I trust people's art when it comes from that place. And he was an easy conduit for authenticity.
Well, we don't have another 45 minutes, but you are absolutely right. And maybe we can come back.
Eloquent talking about a
You are.
conduit. For,
You just said conduit.
Well, I know. What the fuck? I didn't
Has
say
DMX ever said conduit?
Ghost said they love to see you warm up when anyone mentions DMX.
Russ is on fire since he said DMX. So
Flesh of My Flesh is underrated. Great album.
People also want Zodiac very bad.
oh god, yeah.
7.
A lot of Fincher 4K's
Yeah.
missing for sure. A lot of Fincher 4K's
And
missing.
when I say Fight Club is his best movie, that's high praise because Zodiac's incredible.
Yeah.
Seven's incredible.
yeah.
Gone Girl was way better than I thought it was going to be when I saw it.
Yeah. A lot
Yeah.
So a lot of comments for David Fincher 4Ks. Couldn't agree more. They have what is it? Panic Room in 4K, right? That one came out.
That's the one most fans love.
I don't wonder why. I saw that and didn't care for it.
No, I'm being sarcastic. Most people feel like you.
The Game, I watched that. I thought that was good.
I did not like the game.
You didn't like the game?
No.
Okay.
But I saw it later. Maybe if I had seen it when it came out, I would have responded well to it. But that ending, I laughed.
At the ending?
Holy shit. When like the door opens and what is it like?
Spoiler alert.
Sean Penn clapping and so, dude, I audibly laughed out loud. Like, this is hilarious.
They thought it was
The
like
whole
a whoa
movie was
moment.
basically April Fool's Day. Spoiler alert for that classic 80s slasher.
They thought they were gonna like slap with that ending.
I
and it
know, and dude,
definitely-
coming right off of 7, and then it's literally just Sean Penn,
Yeah.
happy birthday. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Actually, I take it back. No, that is a great movie.
certified classic.
That's a banger of a comedy. Fincher knew what he was doing there. No, the only thing funnier than that, if we're going to talk Fincher's comedy roots, I'd say The Game and Benjamin Button. That movie's pretty funny too, man.
I don't remember liking Benjamin Button a whole lot.
No, it's terrible. But that's why it's funny.
Saw it
man.
once, I think.
He's so clearly more invested in the tech behind
Yeah.
it. And come on, dude. This was written by the guy who wrote Forrest Gump.
And I thought it was bootleg.
David Fincher cannot do emotion. This is supposed to be sentimental from the guy who did Fight Club.
I think the Benjamin Button I watched too was a bootleg.
Frank Rodriguez just said, "Holy shit, you guys are still live."
Frank Rodriguez said, "Holy shit, we're still live." You're right, Frank. We're still live. We're wrapping up. This is our final segment. We're coming into Arrow Video to close out the night. Thank you, everybody that's still sticking with us, listening to us talk about DMX and God knows what else.
You mind if I use the bathroom real quick, man?
Well, we do that when you're going to go get your release to unbox. We're going to go through
That's when I'm going to do it.
Well, we're going to do Warriors,
Oh,
Child's
I
Play, and then you'll
thought
unbox.
he'd talk on that.
Through the whole thing? You want to talk through the
Yeah,
whole
I
thing?
thought
Okay.
he'd talk on the
All right, well,
Warriors.
okay, so Russ has an unboxing. I'm sorry. Let me say this again. We're going to cover Arrow Video now. We're going to be covering the Warriors and the Child Play 4K collection. And Russ has a very special unboxing that he would also like to do. Russ would like to do that first, or at least
No, I would like
go get
to.
that release. You want to go get it?
I would like to take a break, and then we're going to come back and do the Arrow releases and an unboxing.
Why don't you go get your release, and I'll stay here with the people.
Yeah, but then the special guest is going to talk about the Warriors and all that too.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, don't unplug your old mic. So Russ, go get your thing you want to unbox. I think.
Love how our fans are like, damn, you are still on.
Going for 4,000 hours.
Are you smoking again as well? I wasn't sure if you were. Oh, I wasn't sure if you were because I was like, your stuff is there and it's in there. I didn't know where you were going. I didn't know where you were going. What? This is my first live stream. I'm not. My heart's on my sleeve here. All right. So while we're waiting for Russ to return,
I don't have a Warriors tab. Am I supposed to?
do you have an Arrow video tab?
No, Child's Play.
Click on that Child's Play tab in the booth. We're in the booth. So we're coming up on Arrow. Who's still?
I don't know if you watch Natural Born Killers yet.
I did. I watched it last night.
Gotta tell them what I'm talking about. They can't.
So everyone, there's been some comments about did I watch Natural Born Killers yet? And I did. I watched it for the first time last night. Unfortunately, I do not have. Sorry, there's a lot of chatter going on, distracting the talent here. But what I was going to say is I did watch Natural Born Killers last night. Unfortunately, we had so much news to cover. There was no chance we were going to be able to do like a review for it, which I still do want to do. So probably the next time we get together, we will review it and we'll give our full, thorough thoughts on the release itself, how it looks, the features, and Russ has seen it since the beginning of time. But I just saw it for the first time last night. I will just throw out there, I guess I don't want to spoil my thoughts too much, but I will say I did enjoy it. For people that wanted to know, I did like it. I'll just tease a little bit. I think my comment about Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis being the reasons that turned me off from seeing that movie in the 90s, which is part of the reason why I didn't want to see it, because I didn't really care for Woody, and even she kind of annoyed me a little bit. I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't really care to see this. I take that completely back. I think both of them are not only excellent individually, but as a duo, they are outstanding. They work super well together on screen. They've got great chemistry, great energy. I couldn't see that movie with anyone else other than those two. And I'm really looking forward to revisiting again. There's been, what was I just about to say? I just lost my thought. Just lost my train of thought. Oh, the soundtrack was another thing that really blew me away. I'm familiar with all the music that's on there. Obviously, it's all been out for friggin' 30 years at this point. A lot of, Nine Inch Nails and Rage Against the Machine and some like L7 and a lot of things that are iconic within that movie that I was aware of but didn't actually experience until watching it last night. It hits just as good as was described to me, especially a few specific moments, which I'll share a little bit later. But yeah, in general, I really did enjoy it. I'm glad I'm part of the club now. I'm part of the club. Anyone out there that doesn't like Natural Born Killers, by any chance, before we do that review, I'm curious if this is just like a well-known, well-beloved film that's just like, get over it, everyone loves that within this community. But maybe there's some haters, I don't know. I'm not going to hate on it. That's for sure when we come to talk about it. I think I probably only have nothing but good things to say. Do I have anything bad to say about that movie? Let me think. I've only watched it once. It seems very rewatchable. The way that it's fast-paced, the editing, the cutting, all the different shots and angles, and it's black and white, and it's color, and it looks like it's on TV, and there's the laugh track here and there. It's like really holds your attention for the entire 2 hours. It's viscerally intense, like Russ has mentioned before, with some of the violence. But I feel like in the 90s, that was probably so much, especially as a kid, if you watched it, so much more like probably like really knocked you back a lot harder. Now, a lot of the stuff I saw in that movie, I've seen that level of violence and so forth and other things, but the way that it was assembled and put together, an achievement. Great job, Oliver. Great job, Oliver Stone. So any other Q&A or questions before any other thoughts on the live stream? How are we doing out there? How are we doing? You can only be
Oliver Stone wrote that movie, Scarface. I don't know. I heard you say Oliver Stone.
Oliver Stone. And who's with us tonight?
Nah, you know who's with us tonight, man. It's Carlito Brigante.
Your hair's looking great as always. I got to tell you.
Thank you, man. I went to a stylist. If you ever need anything done with your hair, you use Pacino's hair, beard, and pubic hair dyeing kit.
I didn't get the pubic hair dyeing kit.
You got to. It comes in 7 delicious flavors. Comes in black, jet black, night black, black, and Italian pretending to be Puerto Rican black.
Clear black, night black.
Also, if you act now, you get a collector's edition of black with Fisher Stevens. That's more brown black.
That's a little brown black.
That's too far, man.
You taking
too far,
Carlito? You've only showed up and you're already taking it too far.
Far.
I've gotten the salt and pepper.
We don't offer that yet, but we do have oregano, thyme, man. We got thyme.
What people are probably going to notice here, for those that are still watching, is that whenever Carlito shows up, the segments that we put up are, 10 minutes or so
better.
long.
The better.
When when we sit here, we're usually talking for like an hour because I can't keep it together.
Oh,
so the
that's right.
edited version you see is everything with me not laughing anymore.
Filter.
Because I can't take it. Carlito, I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for joining us on our 4,000 subscriber stream. Where the hell did Russ go?
I don't know. That's something. He always was. He's not a stand-up guy, man.
He's
He
not.
always runs away. I think I saw his little Modicon ass running down the street when
Well-
I showed up, man. When I showed up, he runs.
Well, I'm glad to have you here to talk about Arrow. You ready to talk about Arrow?
The bows, arrows, all of it, man. Let's get into it, right? Who is your favorite archer?
First up from Arrow, in their Arrow December releases, Carlito. Also, a lot of that happens where we.
You're getting older, your mind's slipping.
You ready for the Warriors, Carlito?
Oh, I'm ready for the Warriors.
You ready for the Warriors in 4K?
4K, man.
4K Warriors, December 12th.
James Remar.
December 12th on 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray from Arrow US.
Arrow US.
Now, previously released, Carlitos, you may remember, a few times on Blu-ray, including the Via Vision edition that we covered. Remember that?
No.
It was a great release. It was a cool box. It was Blu-ray only. It
I
had
like cool boxes.
cool boxes. It was not 4K Blu-ray at the time.
No, that's probably why I don't remember.
It was like one of those where the lid like comes off and the two releases are inside. You pull them out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the lid.
The lid comes right off.
look like you doing a can of Pringles, man.
Like a can of Pringles. Kind of like
A
that.
can of Pringles, man. I remember that edition.
Do you remember that can of
I
Pringles
remember
edition?
that the can of Pringles edition of the
Well,
Warriors.
this is not the Pringles edition of the Warriors, Carlito. This is a 4K exclusive
That's
to Arrow.
That's right. They came out to play, man.
They sure did. They sure did. So this release is coming with all the bells and whistles, including 2 separate package options, which I'd love to hear your thoughts on as we get to them. New 4K restorations. Are you ready for this, Carlito? Of the theatrical and director's cut.
Blow me away, man.
It's all anyone wanted. When the Blu-ray came out, they better give me 4K of both, and here you've got it.
Oh, yeah. Everybody out there were clamoring for those comic book animations.
They wanted the comic book animation.
I was going to add them to Carlito's way, too, but I was like, hey, you already killed me twice. We don't need to animate it.
You don't need to animate me a third time dying?
Don't need to animate a third death. No.
Oh, my gosh.
Will take me to paradise, man.
Check out this note. The theatrical is arriving in its original aspect ratio for the first time on home video.
That's a good sign.
And an isolated score.
You know what else is a good sign? Escape to paradise on a nice little beach. You got the sun in the background. Sometimes the girl even starts dancing, but it's only a sign, man.
I do love that sign. I do love that. Also, you're going to get uncompressed mono, 2.0 stereo, Atmos options for the purists as well. New commentary by Walter Hill Scholar. Not Walter Hill. A Walter Hill Scholar. You're going to get a new roundtable discussion with 3 directors discussing their love for the Warriors and Walter Hill. You're going to get a new interview with the editor and costume designer, 3 new featurettes on the locations, the costumes, and the composer, 4 archival featurettes on different aspects of making of the film, plus a 100-page perfect bound book, double-sided poster art cards, and a gang logo sticker. That's a mouthful. What do you think about that?
Well, my first thoughts are, I'm glad they only killed Cyrus once in the movie. When I saw him die in the beginning, man, I thought to myself, oh no, I'm going to see this again in the end. But Walter Hill did us a solid and didn't kill people multiple times.
Thanks, Walter.
That's right. Good movie.
Good movie. So here's your 2 packaging options, Carlito. You're going to get the Arrow exclusive, which is this, I guess this original art poster here with the white trim and the Warriors all lined up here. The armies
That's
of
a
the
lot
night.
of Warriors, man.
The armies of the night. Blu-ray.com wants us to support them and not block their ads. And then we've got the Warriors in the regular edition, not the Arrow exclusive, which, again, a really solid package here. I like what I'm looking at. I like how this looks. What do you think, Carlito? It's not loading. There it is. What do you think about
Oh, I like this is the family portrait edition. I like that.
it's like
no, it's a locker.
It's a subway.
No, it's a subway. Oh, no, I don't like this one, man. Bad things happen in subways, man. I do not like that cover. No.
No chance.
No, I swear. If you pan that cover a little bit to the right, Benny Blanco going to be standing right there. I don't like it, man. No.
Who out there got the ViaVision Warriors? Anyone? Let us know, because I want to just add one mention to the people out there that might have not waited for the 4K and they got the ViaVision one instead. The ViaVision, in comparison to this, there was about 2 hours of exclusive content on the ViaVision release, including interviews, retrospectives, etc., which is not here. All the archival stuff that's here,
It's not here.
ViaVision did have.
They had it.
They had that, but they don't.
had it.
So it's kind of like one of those things where you're going to need to buy it all.
Man, that's what I was going to say. It's one of those things.
You're just going to need to buy it all. And then we take a look at the thing unboxed here. Let's take a look at Carlito. I really like how this looks. I like the subway motif.
No, I don't like that.
That's right. You don't
Get
like
that out of here, man. No. No, you see me, I was running back and forth. I was laying down on the escalator. I do not like subways. And then to top it off, I died twice.
If you're a Warrior fan, I'm assuming you got to dig this 4K release, like what I did there. But I could see you.
Hey, guys. Man, he said, can you dig it?
Can you dig it? I could,
Come out and play.
I could see people being put off that got the ViaVision one, though, unfortunately. But I still haven't seen this. Have you seen this film?
No.
You haven't seen this?
No, that cover scared me.
The cover's it's too pricey to blind buy, I think. I don't think I'm going to go, but I saw an interview with James Remar. He went off. He loved this movie. He loved being in this movie.
He's a big fan of himself, man.
He kind of is, maybe, but he really talked on it for a while. He's at some like Comic-Con convention or something. Or not a Comic-Con, but some con that he was at. He's a con.
I think that idiot Russ met him, too.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I love
Mighty cool motherfucker.
So, anyone
Nah,
out
you
there...
should blind buy it, man.
Should I blind buy
It's
it?
a fun movie. It's a fun movie. You got gangs flamboyantly running around in colors.
With trash can lids on their heads?
Yeah.
Trying to stay dry?
These baseball player gangs.
Getting cheesecake?
Cheesecake gangs, man. Yes. Yeah. Have you? You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen
Sounds
it.
like you have, man. That cheesecake gang.
It's a good one.
Oh yeah, man. That's not to be played with, man.
Are you a Child's Play fan?
No, I don't play with children. That's inappropriate.
You don't play with children?
There
'cause
were
that's
no
inappropriate.
children on the set of Carlito's Way.
Well, tell me, Carlito, what you think about this. So
Oh, that's that little Chucky guy, huh?
that's a little Chucky guy.
Chuck. Uncle Chuck.
Uncle Chuck. We got the Child's Play collection in 4K coming on, and Blu-ray as well. And this is coming from Arrow. And this is coming from Arrow UK.
It's coming faster than an arrow, faster than a bullet, man.
December 11th.
Get you killed like a favor.
Faster than a bullet. For all you Child's Play fans, the full collection is here from Arrow in 4K. Child's Play 1 through 7, previously released by Scream Factory in 4K, which we covered. They also
we did, man.
We did.
We
You
did.
weren't here. Russ was.
Oh, you did. That's right.
I
man.
did.
You did.
They also had those were all individual releases though, no box set. And you could bundle you could bundle them together, but you couldn't have a box of them.
Man, talk about this Child's Play stuff.
Carlito, this is what I got.
I just wanted to talk about my unboxing. Here I am listening.
Are you having one of your famous monologues, Carlito?
Child's Play, Bride of Chucky. I mean, Bride of Chucky was a stand-up sequel.
I don't think anyone can hear you.
I don't know.
You're in your own world. Do you see what I have here?
That's a steelbook, man.
It is a steelbook of the original Child's Play. This is the one I got, the 4K release I got. I didn't buy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I bought this in the original art steel, which, by the way, has a dent. Double A. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this in the reflection.
Double A.
It's got a dent. Double A out there was asking about steelbooks. How often do they get dented? I
Double
got one right
A.
here, and I picked this up in person.
MCO.
I probably mishandled it. I don't know. But this is excellent. But now Arrow's here to tickle all the fancies of all the UK folk out there that didn't get a chance to get any of the Child's Play in 4K. Or if you're a box set lover and you want to import, go for it.
Playtime is over, man.
But I want to get your thoughts on a couple of things, Russ.
Absolutely.
I mean, Carlito. And then maybe there will be some people that want to ask Carlito some questions before the unboxing.
I'd definitely like to field some questions from your subscribers, man.
So this time around, Arrow is gathering up basically what Scream Factory has already done. They're taking every Scream Factory release, and it even says here, 4K restorations from the original camera negative by Shout Factory. So you're getting the restorations from Shout Factory, the features from Shout Factory, everything that Shout Factory has already done you're getting here.
Those are some jive-ass practices, man.
With the exception of one thing, which is a little bit more jive-ass than maybe you even anticipated.
Oh, no. Here come the pain.
Here
What
come the
is it?
pain. Are you ready for the pain? The original Child's Play is on Blu-ray.
Oh, no, man.
On Blu-ray!
Oh, no.
In the 2012 high-definition version. Not even like the restored Blu-ray, none of that. It is literally all the 4Ks, 2 through 7, and then the Blu-ray version of the original.
Oh, my God.
That really deflates the whole thing, I feel like.
Marty Cone, motherfuckers.
That really deflates it.
deflates it.
Don't you think?
Oh, completely, man. Completely.
I mean, you are getting
What am I watching here?
You are getting one new.
If I want to watch a little midget run around, I want to see it, man.
You're going to get one new thing, which is not previously released with the Scream Factory set. And that's
What's that, a pair of glasses?
Disc 8, Living with Chucky, Russ. I mean, Carlito. Living with Chucky, Carlito. All these Russes will be edited out. Living with Chucky.
The fuck is that?
It's a documentary that came out in 2023 about the entire series. So it was a solo standalone. So they're scooping that up for this too. They're trying to like soften the blow with you not getting 4K original if you live in the UK, if you didn't import the 4K original from the US.
The streets are always watching, man. They like to see it, though, in 4K clarity.
That's what I'm saying. What do the people out there think? What do the streets think? Tell us. Are you going to get this box set? Does that piss you off? That really bothers me. I don't know how many people out there that bothers. This would... Oh, that's next. Okay, the comments are saying hate for the cover art. We got to hate on the discs first. Let me hate on these discs. So first we're going to hate on the discs. Now, let's take a look at this opened up, Carlito, shall we? Let's see here. Arrow, Child's Play, 4K.
Is Charles Lee Ray Chucky?
Yeah, Charles Lee Ray.
Someone said Charles Lee Ray is a national treasure.
Charles Lee Ray's a national treasure. So now we're coming over to the art, which let's just look at the outer box first. So the outer box, you've got a yellow 4K, a yellow Blu-ray, and then a blue 4K limited edition that comes with. Is this the Arrow
Is
one?
this opposite day, man? What the fuck is
Yeah.
this?
So blue is the Arrow exclusive, and then when you actually see it opened up, let's take a look at this thing opened up. This is the this is the real head scratcher here, Carlito. Here it is, opened up, and it looks like you get each movie in their own digipack, and they slide into this bigger box, and each one of them has their own drawing, and goddamn if that does not look stupid as hell. I think if you rewind the tapes, what is it, 2 years ago when we were still fairly new on this channel and how the Halloween Scream Factory collection came out and they had 1 through 5 different slips. I think I ranted and raved about how the Michael Myers mask looked different and I didn't like the art, whatever. I've come to love the original. These here I feel like is the same thing. I know each Chucky kind of has a different iteration per movie, and maybe that's what I'm looking at here, but goddamn, they all just look so dumb. And even the original Child's Play, he looks the stupidest. I don't even think he looks really like that in the original. Am I wrong?
No, you're not, man.
I think he looks more like this one.
Looks like hot trash. I met Chucky. You got to understand, man. Carlito's Way debuted in 93.
Yes.
That was when Child's Play 3 came out. Chucky was at the height of his fame. Him and I had many lunches, many meetings, many projects we was going to work on together. And I don't know where I was going with this, man, but he's a nice guy. I like him. Very professional. Man.
I get what they're doing with this yellow because that's
very professional.
Very professional. That yellow is the good guy doll box color. It makes sense. They even had a Blu-ray collection that looked the same.
He's a bad guy. I've seen the movie, man.
He's a bad guy.
He was the bad guy. I think you're mistaken, man.
I'm definitely mistaken on that point. I think this looks cheesy.
That's
it looks
why
cheap.
I'm here.
It looks so cheesy and cheap. Look, they even give you the posters for 1, 2, 3 to kind of be like, look, remember how cool these posters used to look? Let's just make sure you remember that when you look at these as you pull them out one at a time. They just look terrible. I'm sorry. I don't like this. Even blue. Don't like blue either. This opened up. I don't think these look great. It looks cheap. The first one missing in 4K deflates it. The previous releases came with old and new art, multiple slips, posters. Scream Factory was the way to go. I don't know if they're still available. For all you folks in the UK, I apologize that this is what you're being offered. Maybe you can get something from the US if it's still available, but otherwise, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this series, so maybe I'm out of my element here.
You are. And I'm going to tell you this. Hold out, man. Everyone watching, hold out for the inevitable Criterion release. That's what I'm doing, man. I'm going to get my box set from the Criterion.
This is $120 before shipping.
Did you not hear what I said? I said, wait for the Criterion release, man.
Put it right next to your Ingmar Bergman.
Who?
What's that one they had?
Who?
Maybe I don't remember that. No, what's that one collection they put out that's like brilliant looking? I've never even heard or seen of any of the movies, but
Police Academy.
correct. So this is Child's Play. I know it's awful. I feel bad for everyone out there that's in the UK that is being subjected to this. I'm gonna be just fine with this, and I'm gonna watch this Halloween season, I believe.
And I'm gonna be just fine with this.
Whoa! What do you've got there, Carlito?
Oh, this is Child's Play 4, man. Bride of Carlito. Starring Gail.
Starring Gail.
That's right.
Oh, wow. So
That's right. Look at this beauty. I know Arrow let you down with your little Chucky show here, but I got the real deal.
old school, baby.
That's right. Drying the Bombers, Carlito's Way. The OG artwork edition.
I'm so glad you came here to unbox this, and you brought this one.
Oh, I unboxed it before I got here, man. But I'll let you look at it. It's
You
already
already
open.
had the unboxing? We're supposed to do the unboxing here. That's what we
Man,
pre-planned.
It's Carlito's Way. I had to
when we
watch.
spoke on the phone,
Listen.
and I paid...
I'm not Russ, man. I don't know what you're doing here. Let me finish my thought. You know how often this gets released, right?
Yes,
Thank you.
often.
Now, immediately, when I pick one up, I have to make sure the Palmer didn't edit in another death scene of me into it. All right? Go easy on me, man. Maricon motherfucker.
So let's see. Let's take a look at this unboxing here, Carlito. What are you giving the people this time? You've been so generous.
I'm giving them a classic film, a 10 out of 5.
We've had Zavvi editions.
We have.
We've had media book editions from Germany.
Oh, that's right, man. We've had books,
Steelbooks even.
soundtracks,
Rise to Power.
pins.
And now we've got this.
We got this. You know, we're running out of ideas when we go back to the original artwork, man. I don't know. Dave's family's got to eat. That's why I'm here.
We owe Dave.
We owe Dave. Look, I say, put Dave's name on the bottom there. Don't get Dave out.
I mean, I do appreciate that
Let's
original
take
art.
a look. I do too.
I like
man.
it. It's
That's
nice.
why I got it. I appreciate. Come on, man.
I wish a steel was in there.
Yeah, do it. Make yourself useful.
All right,
man.
what should I
Hold that
open up? Okay, we're
Hold
starting with
that
a poster. We got a poster here.
Got a little poster. Yeah, it was. On there.
I'm unfolding.
That's what it's gonna say. A bullet gonna do a favor for you quicker than an idea. One of my other great
What size
quotes.
are we looking at here?
All
18 by
right.
22
Yeah,
or
yeah.
24? I mean, 18 by 24 poster.
Okay.
What do we got?
Oh, that's about a.
What's this about an 8 by 10?
That's like Godzilla, man.
12
I don't know.
12 by 6. So we've got Pacino, the original art, and then
That's
on the back,
me, man.
and then on the
That's
back
me.
we've got this.
That's my
version.
silhouette. That's for those days when you're reminiscing about Rise to Power. It kind of gives you some Rise to Power vibes.
It does. I like that. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can fold
That's
this poster back up successfully. It's always
That's
a difficult.
Shout
what's
out.
the right way to fold it. There we go.
Shout out
first
to P. Diddy Love.
first
P.
time. I got it
Diddy
right.
Love. First time ever. First time. What are you talking
Now
about?
what do you got
man?
there, Carlito?
Oh, I like this one. You got to get close up on this. Look at that guy. First off, it's the love of my life. And then
Dave?
yeah, man, you ruined the joke, man. Oh, my God. You ruined the joke. God, what am I doing here? No wonder Russ does this fucking low-level shit. God damn.
Low level. Oh, Carlito, it's always a
And
treat.
why don't you go snatch a purse, man? This is ridiculous.
It's always a treat to have you here. Tell us what else is in that book. I'll keep
Who
my
cares?
goddamn mouth shut.
You're going to interrupt me anyway,
I'll keep my
man.
goddamn
You
mouth
rude
shut.
host. Rude host.
I'll stop.
Rude host. You tell me what's in the book, man. Here. Don't worry, I'm going to be doing an inner monologue anyway. There you go.
This video is going to look much different when we upload it. So this is a thick book. We're talking 100 pages here, Carlito? You know I like hardback, but perfect bound is nice too. How many pages? Do you know off the top of your head how many pages we're talking?
With you?
This is a nice. It's a nice thick book here. Let's see. We got. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff about the making of. We got some essays here. There's Benny Blanco. Remember me? You got the famous lovemaking scene in there. Gail and Dave. Gail and Carlito. Gail and Dave. Look, you got Bob. You got Brian D.
I do owe Dave. If he wants Gail, I must oblige.
Your boy Brian DP up there.
Oh, there's Drying the Bomber.
Drying to bomb up there filming.
Look at him, man. He's flying high, man. Flying high. Fly, pelican, fly. I'm running out of quotes from my own movie.
There's a whole cast listing in here. Is Willie Lopez in here?
Oh, Willie. Rest in peace, Willie.
Willie Lopez.
He got by Satan.
By a trick shot.
Those shadowy figures, man. Hidden figures. You ever seen that movie?
That's a great booklet, Carlito. What else you got for the people? Can I see this? Can I see the hardback box?
Oh, by all means. Here you go, man. There you go.
Wow,
What
this
else
is
do
great.
I got?
What else did you bring? You brought more? What else do you have for the people?
What else I got here?
Wow.
Oh, yeah, man. I got Rise to Power. Carlito's Way.
There it is.
Look at this ugly shit.
That is ugly. Oh, it's lenticular.
Who gives a fuck? It's trash.
Can I take a look at this?
Please, throw it in the trash can, man.
Honestly, I like this better than the thing Arrow's putting out. I like that it's in one. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe I don't. Wow, everything's falling out. Sorry. Let me just shut it again. Literally every disc is out of the cradle. Let me stick it back in here. I like this. Here you go. There you go, Carlito.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
How about you wrap this up?
We wrapping it up?
What else you got for me?
I mean, that's it.
Wait, the question. Don't you have an audience, man?
One question, Mr. Carlito.
Everybody tuned out. You took 4 hours for me to get on your goddamn show, man.
I am that I am. Want to know how much nose candy you did on set with Sean Penn?
I am who I am?
I am that I am.
I am that I am wants to know how much nose candy did you do on set, Carlito, with Sean Penn, Carlito?
The question is, how much nose candy was not done on the set of Carlito's Way with Sean Penn? You seen that man's nose. That man sniffed up a whole mountain of cocaine, man. A whole mountain. Luckily, he's Sean Penn. He's fucking crazy, so he can do it. He's playing my man Dave. That was a bad answer. I honestly was going to take a dig on Chris Penn.
Oh, leave Chris Penn out of it.
Just like life did.
Well, Carlito, it's been an absolute treat having you here on this stream.
Sometimes you gotta cut loose, man. Cut loose. Carlito's Way. Get some cheesecake for Gail. Rat. A tat-tat. Benny Blanco stab you in the back. Pachanga. An asshole. Wish she was crippled like Viggo Mortensen.
Old school, baby.
Oh, wait, never mind. It's not Carlito related.
Carlito, it's been an
I'll
absolute.
answer it anyway.
It's been an absolute joy having you here. I think we're gonna wrap it
One
up
more.
for the people.
No,
one more?
I
Oh, one more?
want
Okay,
another
one more.
question, man.
We're gonna
One
burn
more.
this thing into the ground.
That's right, man. One more question. Here come the pain.
One more question from the control booth.
Actually, for Russ. Russ is in here.
Russ is gone. I'll answer on Russ's behalf.
I'll answer on that Marty Cohn's behalf.
Well, if it's your last question of the night, it was earlier on. Someone wanted to know how you two met.
The last question of the night. How did Carlito and I meet?
Were you and Russ?
Cocaine.
I've been wiping my nose all night long here. Russ and I met.
I'll let you tell the story, man. I don't know how you met that guy.
The control booth's wilding out in
How
there.
you looking at me, man? I don't know. What the fuck is happening to you?
You're a real tough guy now. So to answer just really quickly before we wrap up, just so that if anyone does care to know the origin story of Russ and I met in high school through a mutual friend at the time. And Russ played the bass, and I played the drums. And it just so happened that Russ was looking for someone to play the drums in maybe together with somebody, but also some cover band gigs that were coming up locally. And I think there were some songs that he was looking to play that he didn't have anyone that could play. Maybe I could. And this person that we both knew sort of vouched for me in a way. And Russ came over and met me that way. This person brought him over. We were introduced to each other. And then the first thing that Russ played, Carlito's in his inner monologue land. The first thing that Russ played to tune his bass was Little Green Bag by the George Baker Selection, which is the opening song to Reservoir Dogs, for anyone that knows the credit sequence. And as Russ started to warm up to that, I just so happened to also love that at the same time. And Russ and I did not know each other. We did not know that we loved that song together. And as soon as he started playing it, I immediately started playing the drums. And we both kind of looked at each other. And it was like we all of a sudden just like understood each other in that moment. And I think there were a couple other things that we tried after that that did not click at all. I remember I Put a Spell on You was a song that you wanted to try, and I don't think I knew that one at all, and you were kind of like, all right, maybe this was just a fluke, I think, feeling because you had just met me, but at the time, that's how we started connecting, and then we connected over music ever since, and of course, then we got to know each other better, movies, and now here we are some 20-plus years later.
I remember the first time I met you, Matt. Our eyes met, and all I heard was, "You are so beautiful
to me."
me."
I was going to sing that as you take us out of here, Carlito. I was going to sing that to you. This time we won't get claimed for using that song.
Because we're going to improve Joe Cocker. Joe Cocker Spaniel.
Well, thank you for all the questions. Thank
you, Uncle Buck.
Thank you, Uncle Buck. Thank you, Uncle Buck. Thank you if you're still hanging in there. If you're still on the stream right now, you're a true 4K king. Thanks for being there for us. Thank you for coming and stopping by, subscribing, making this 4K stream happen. If you like what you see here and you want us to do more of these, comment on again. But as we always do, we're going to snip out these segments and put them up in their usual fashion, as we tend to do. We'll probably, I don't know how much of this we're going to keep. I'll tell you that.
All right, man. I'd like to give a sincere apology to all the people who checked out in hour 7 because I didn't appear until hour 19.
You were the fan favorite. People were dying for you. You had to come on last. I told you that when we signed the contract.
The encore. Oh, that's right. I should.
I wrote your check.
I'm speaking out of line here, man.
When I called you up.
Pacino was more. They warned me about that too. They said, "Hey, Carlito, this shit will die." They said, "Hey, Carlito, this stuff will dye the hair on your ass too. But don't say it on air." So I promised them I'll never tell anybody that their dye is for hair on your ass.
Thanks for everything, Carlito.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, everyone. Some shout outs. Give me a couple of names. Who's still in the chat? Give me a few names. Control booth. Who?
Hi,
Gavin Edwards. Waiting
shout out.
Sarah Best.
Shout out to Gavin Edwards.
Double A. Thanks for being there.
Double A battery. Nice to meet you.
Frank Varagoza.
Frank Varicose Veins. Hello.
Hey, it's me, HD.
Hey, it's me, Carlito.
Mauricio.
All right.
Double B, Double A, and Double B. And Will. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for hanging in. Thank you for hanging in. Thanks to everybody for being here through this whole goddamn long-ass 3.5 hour stream. If you checked out a half hour in, that's okay too. We'll have all this stuff up for you then. Thanks, everyone. Good night. Control room. Hit stop streaming.